Good evening. Another late start tonight here. It's the championship game of the Dakota Athletic Conference in men's basketball. Tonight, the Mayville State Comets, 25-5 on the season, take on the Black Hills State University Yellow Jackets, 17-13 on the year. These teams met twice in the regular season. They split back on December 3rd at Black Hills State University. The Yellow Jackets won 80-75. Then on February 17th here in Mayville, the Comets picked up a 76-64 win. So this is an 11-day turnaround, and these two teams meet again. This time it's for the conference championship. I'm Craig Keating. I'll bring you the action tonight on KMAV 105.5 FM, Mayville, Portland. And we also welcome along those of you listening down on KDSJ, Deadwood, South Dakota, as we're glad to bring you the action. Coming up here are interviews with both of the coaches. We'll get to that in 1 minute. Welcome back here on our pregame coverage. Black Hills State here in Mayville to take on Mayville State for the Dakota Athletic Conference Men's Basketball Championship. Mayville State will be moving on to the national tournament down in Branson, which will start on the 8th of March. So win or lose, the Comets are in. But if Black Hills State can win tonight, they would also be in the tournament. Big game for both these teams tonight.
I'm talking with Craig Smith, coach of the Mayville State Comets. Valley City back on Saturday was a late ball game, and the fans came out in full force, and so did Valley City. It ended up for a pretty fine atmosphere.
That was awesome. That was as good as atmosphere as I've been in for quite some time, probably since I was at NDSU against UND, and that's what you expect out of those rivalry games. And it was just a great college basketball game, and the spirit and atmosphere was tremendous. And I told the newspaper earlier today, it's like I think we stirred up some echoes of Louis Lee, and so he had to been smiling from ear to ear. So it was fun, and hopefully we'll have a great crowd tonight, and we'll see what happens.
Valley City was another one of those teams. You beat them both times in the regular season, and sometimes it's tough to get that third win. And they'd seen you twice, you'd seen them twice, so you knew it. Each team knew what they were all about, and Valley City took it to you for a while there.
Yeah, I thought they played excellent. You know, I thought the first half, both teams defended very, very hard. Both teams shot 33%. We were up by 1 at halftime. We struggled at the free throw line. We had an opportunity early to really jump on them. I thought we were up by 8 and just missed some wide open threes that were right there. They just didn't fall, And then the second half, both teams were on fire. It was the total opposites. And fortunately for us, we finally made some shots. Us, like Black Hills, has really been struggling at times. Shooting the three just kind of been up and down that way. And so it'll be interesting tonight. Last time we played Black Hills, they were, I believe, 3 for 18 from the three, or 3 for 19, and we were 3 for 18. And it was the same thing. I thought both teams just kind of mirrored each other on both ends of the court. And so it'll be interesting tonight. I think they are a very, very good team. They're well coached. They have a ton of talent. And, they have the MVP in the league, and Haller Jackson, and 3 all-conference players. And so it's going to be a great test. And you talk about beating Valley 3 times in a row. To beat Black Hills State twice in 11 days, that's going to be a monumental challenge for us.
That Valley City game, second half, Gilby Sanchez was just on fire. We've seen it before, and there it was again.
Yeah, Gilby has really picked it up the last couple of games. I thought he played very well against Dakota State in the first round of the playoffs. And he played a superb game the other night. He played 37 minutes. Ron Howard was sicker than a dog and didn't play. And so Gilby really picked up the slack. And he's not. Last year he was used to playing 37, 38, 39 minutes, and this year he hasn't had to do that. But hopefully he can get that same kind of effort again tonight. Ron will be playing, or we're going to try to give him a shot. We'll see what happens. He was at the hospital today getting IVs, and so we'll see what happens there. Chris Reinhardt will not be playing. He has got to get an MRI on his knee on Thursday. We think there might be a tear in there. So, but that's why you have depth, right? And at this time of year, you just got to plug them in and just got to compete, and that's the name of the game.
And with that depth, on any given night, anyone can step up, and we've seen that all year long with your team.
Yeah, it's been a lot of nights. It's been a different guy. Certainly we've had some very consistent performers. Monty Rogers and Archie Weatherspoon, I'd say, have been our 2 most consistent guys. Andy Prochka shows up every game. He's just a tremendous defensive player. And John Fago's had an excellent year as well. And so, but we've always had guys come out. Scott Tice started over half the season, and Cody Lewis started for a long time as well. And so we had some different guys that we can go to, and and try to take advantage of some different mismatches, as they will, and he does a good job with that. And so I expect it to be really a physical game and a rugged game, as almost every game is in the playoffs. That other night, it was a rugged game, and that's fine. As long as the officiating is consistent, then you know what to expect. So we're a little bit shorthanded, but we'll see what we can do.
And for Black Hills, they were down 13.5 on Saturday to Minot, but that home court advantage sometimes helps, and they were able to pull it off.
Yeah, I mean, certainly, I was thinking about it the other day. In our 2 years being here, the home teams in the playoffs are, I think they're 12-1 now, something like that, and the one win was us at Dakota State last year. And so that was a good one to win because it got us to the national tournament, and that's what Black Hills is thinking right now. And, when it gets to this point, you obviously like to be at home, but all it takes is one game to get there, and so, it is nice to be at home, and they certainly showed their grit and determination because Minot's a heck of a team and a very, very talented team, and for those guys to come back from a 12-point deficit and win 63, I think 59, something like that, that shows you what those guys are made out of, and I'd like to think we're a tough team as well, so it should be a heck of a game, and it should probably come down to the wire.
I would imagine there's some Minot fans might be rooting for your team tonight.
Well, there's a little history there. Obviously, I was an assistant there for 3 years, and you have a lot of friends and good relationships there, and worked with Mike Holtz, who's the head coach there, and their assistant, Steve Grabowski, I coached when I was an assistant there. So there's some ties, and, there's some other ties, too. I was an assistant at I was a graduate assistant at Northern State, and Paul was an assistant coach there as well. So it's a credit to Northern State's program. I think 4 of the 8 head coaches in our league at one time or another have been an assistant or a graduate assistant at Northern State. So we're kind of like the minor league, I guess, of Northern State coaches. But Paul does a great job, and Black Hills is very tenacious and have a lot of depth, and they're very, very versatile, and they're certainly anchored by one of the best big men in the league.
All right, how about your starting lineup tonight?
We'll go the same as we did the other night with Gilby at the point and AP at the 2 and Fago at the 3 and Monty as the 4 and Archie as the 5, and hopefully Ron will be able to give us some decent minutes, although it'll be tough. He just hasn't been able to do a whole lot, and so Cody Lewis and Scott Tice and maybe Markeith McCullough are going to have to step in there and give us some quality minutes.
Good luck, Craig.
Thanks a lot.
Craig Smith, coach of the Comets. Talking with Paul Sather, coach of the Black Hills State Yellow Jackets, here on the pregame show. Just talked to Craig Smith, and the Comets are pumped for this one tonight, and he had mentioned that you and he both had ties back to Northern State, and that they've kind of produced some successful coaches here, and here you are. It's for the DAC Conference Championship.
Well, it's funny. This is all 3 coaches that we've competed against in the DAC Championships have all been Northern State former assistants, and Jeff Trumbauer and Matt Severide both at Jamestown, and then Mike Holtz, of course, at Minot, and now Craig at Mayville. So it's been a familiar road as far as the people we've been going against for me personally, but Craig's done a tremendous job here at Mayville State. I mean, what he's done in a matter of 2 years' time, playing in 2 DAC championships and winning the DAC this year outright, and obviously, no matter what happens tonight, he's headed to that national tournament. So excited for him because he is a friend of mine. Even though we do compete against each other, I'm excited to see him do well, and I think it's great for our league that his team's doing as well as it is.
And, of course, you want to be another team from this conference to get there, and, you got to win to do it.
Yeah, we need to play awfully well tonight. You ask me what we need to do to beat Mayville State. Well, we need to really take care of the basketball. We're not allowed to make a lot of mistakes out there tonight from an offensive standpoint or defense, and we got to do all we can to try to keep those good guys, big fellas that got off the boards, and not give them second opportunities. So we got a tall task in front of us, but, our guys all year, I don't think many people have given them a chance to do much this year. And like we told them at the beginning of the season, the only people that really matter are the people that are in the locker room every day. And they've really bought into it. And, we just got to come up and try to play our best game. And if it's enough, great. If it's not enough, we just got to leave here knowing that we did it all we could.
You've been riding high this season. They had a really good start, beating Mayville State down to your place. And you kind of were up there in the top 2 of the conference throughout.
Yeah, we were able to keep that top area, that top 2 or 3 spots in the league the whole year. I think we had an advantage as far as our schedule. We played the first 3 out of 4 games at home, and our only road game was the South Dakota Tech, which we take bands down to, an hour and a half before the game. So that was a great advantage for us to start the conference season, and we got some momentum going. I think it really helped us, throughout the conference season.
I know Coach Smith and the players from Mayville State have a lot of respect for this ball club, and I imagine it's the same the other way. Mayville State, they have a lot of depth.
Are you kidding me? I mean, we know these guys are the real deal, and our win against them, I think, was a big part of us getting confidence, because I think these guys on my team they got such a respect for these guys and what they've done last year and this year that we know how hard we got to play, and we know that we got to play flawless basketball to beat them. And like I said before, if we can do that, we can maybe give them a game. But I'm telling you, it's going to be a tall order tonight. We want to do the best we can and see if it's enough.
Being down double figures at the half against Minot last Saturday, and then coming back to win that game, that's got to be a big boost for your ball club.
Yeah, we've had 2 good second halves, and we've had 2 very subpar first halves against Jamestown and Minot State. And to see them come back and respond in that second half, both games were important, and especially against a team like Minot, who is just so athletic, and they're so experienced. And for us to come back and beat them at our place, which I think was another advantage for us. We had a great crowd that night, and I think they really gave us some energy once we started making that run. So, like I said, it's going to be a fun night. Really excited about it.
Mayville still hasn't lost on their home floor this year, but I suppose it's something you tell your guys, this is the last game of the year, and we got to give it our all.
Yeah, I don't even know if I even looked that up. I tried not to look too deep at statistics and all that kind of stuff. But, I mean, if you try looking at scores or if you try looking at records and all those things, I think you get caught up in the wrong things. And, we've got to make sure that our guys are ready to play and go out there as a team and compete as hard as they can. And like I said, if it's enough, then we're going to be, we got a chance to go to the national tournament. And that's going to be the ultimate deal.
It's one of those things, it's going to be an aggressive game. As long as things are called fairly even, you never know what can happen.
Exactly. And, in this kind of game, a championship game, I don't think you have a problem with both teams getting up. I know both teams hopefully are up. I hope our guys are up and ready for it. But I think it comes down to guys stepping up in this time of the year, making plays. Defensive plays. We had Levi Memmer up at our place, a guy that hardly played against Jamestown, make 3 huge plays for us in that second half against Minot. And it's that time of the year. Guys step up and make plays. And you get a few guys in your team that maybe haven't been your leading scorers. The Steinsham kid's been doing a great job of stepping up for Mayville these last few games, and so I mean it's a testament to them and their team, and hopefully we can have some guys step up and give them a good game tonight.
What's your starting lineup going to look like?
The same starting lineup we've been going with: Casey Doolin, Ammon Bemis, J.J. White, and Scott Ferguson and Heller Jackson. We've been going to that lineup really since about a week or so after Christmas, and that's the lineup that we've started having success with. It's 5 seniors, and we're kind of going with, hey, these guys, it's their senior year, and they got a chance to kind of have some control in how their season ends up. And, hopefully they can look back on this and say they're going to have a great experience to look back on, no matter what happens tonight. You just want to have them look back on it and say, we went to Mayville State, and no matter what the outcome was, we played as hard as we could. And they were, either they were the better team, but we showed up and made some plays and squeaked by the win. And you just don't know what's going to happen, that's for sure.
Good luck, Paul.
Appreciate that.
Paul Sather, coach of the Yellow Jackets.
We are going to have the national anthem. I believe it'll be performed by the Mayville State Pep Band under the direction of Mike Bakken. They're performing right now in the stand, so I would guess that... No, actually, we've got Lloyd Arnegard coming over, and he'll be singing us the national anthem here tonight. But nonetheless, we do have the Mayville State Pep Band here performing as well tonight, which is always nice. Comets still a few players out shooting around. They've got a few ticks left on the clock to do that, and then we'll be ready for our championship matchup. Mayville State, Black Hill State. Mayville State, the number 1 seed. Black Hill State, the number 2 seed. And again, these teams split during the regular season. Comets lost at Black Hill State on December 3rd. 80-75 was the final in that one. And then just 11 days ago on February 17th here in Mayville, Mayville State won 76-64. Looks like we have the Mayport Color Guard here as well, which will be presenting the colors. Lloyd Arnegard will sing the national anthem after they get done with a few of the introductions, welcoming all the fans here. Good crowd. Boy, I got to tell you, Black Hill State brought a lot of fans. good to see both teams have some good followings. Obviously, Mayville State's is a better following, but that's a long haul you got to make to come all the way up to Mayville from down around the Spearfish area.
Thank you for your cooperation. At this time, please rise in honor.
So we will have the colors presented by the Mayport Color Guard. Lloyd Arnegard to sing the national anthem. We'll be back here and get ready to bring you the lineups in 2 minutes. Visiting team is the Black Hills State Yellow Jackets, a record of 17-13 on the year. The guards are Casey Doolin, a 6'1 senior from Ogden, Utah, and J.J. White, a 6'2 senior from Phoenix, Arizona. At centers, Hallard Jackson III, a 6'7 senior from Oakland, California. Forwards are Ammon Bemis, a 6'5 senior from Canby, Oregon, and Scott Ferguson, a 6'7 senior from Fort Lupton, Colorado. Yellow Jackets are coached by Paul Sather and assisted by Steve Smiley and Devin Gonzalez. We'll be back with the lineup for the Mayville State Comets after this 30-second timeout. For the Mayville State University Comets, they are 25-5 on the season, ranked 7th in the country in NAIA Division II men's basketball. The guards are Gilby Sanchez, a 5'8 senior from Halstead, Minnesota, and Andy Parachka, a 6' junior from Meyer, Minnesota. The center is Archie Weatherspoon IV, a 6'6 senior from St. Paul Park, Minnesota. Forwards are John Pego IV, a 6'2 senior from Boise, Idaho, and Monty Rogers, a 6'5 junior from Murray, Utah. Comets are coached by Craig Smith and assisted by Justin Johnson and Justin Forbes. Lineups have been brought to you on KMAV by the Goose River Bank of Mayville, Hillsborough, and Hatton. We're about ready for the opening tip here. Craig Keating here to bring you the game tonight on KMAV, Mayville, Portland, 105.5 FM, and also for the folks listening down in South Dakota and KDSJ, Deadwood. Comets wearing white with the blue and black trim. Yellow Jackets wearing green with the gold and white trim. Just a little bit of gold around their lettering.
It's time for the championship game of the Dakota Athletic Conference postseason tournament.
Hallard Jackson for the Yellow Jackets. Archie Weatherspoon for the Comets to jump. We're about ready to go. Again, a very nice crowd for the Yellow Jackets here tonight, showing their support, making a long trip up to Mayville tonight. Ball tipped in the air, tipped again, and it's picked up by the Yellow Jackets. Bemis will bring the ball up. Across the half line, guarded by Sanchez. Pass to Jackson, who's on the wing. Try to pass down low, and we have a foul inside, down in the lane, away from the basketball. This is against Mayville State's John Fego. First foul on Fego, one on the Comets. Bemis looks to get it in. Gets it to White in the left corner. And he'll bring it around the perimeter, top of the key now. Picks up the dribble. Guarded by Fego. White trying to find an opening somewhere. Throws it out between the circles for Doolin. Comes down the baseline underneath. Bounce back out for Ferguson. Ball comes free. Picked up by John Fego. First turnover in the Yellow Jackets. Sanchez front corner on the right side with the ball. Bounces it down low. Weatherspoon back to the basket. Throws it back out. Sanchez takes the three. Drives in. And a foul away from the basketball on Mayville State. This is on Archie Weatherspoon pushing up down low. First foul on Weatherspoon, two on the Comets, and the first turnover on Mayville State tonight. So the Comets pick up two quick fouls in 40 seconds. No score here. Yellow Jackets bring it back up. Bemis across the half line, guarded by Sanchez. Bemis caught right in the lane. Now trying off-balance shot. It's short. Ball tipped around. Rebound. Bemis in the lane. Brings it back out into the corner. Throws it to Doolin. Pass to White between the circles. Guarded by Fego. White brings over the right side. Drives in, pushes up one-handed shot off the glass. No good. Ball tipped around a few times and out of bounds off of Archie Weatherspoon. So the Jackets will inbound. No score here. 18:50 to go in the first half. Bemis trying to find an opening here from the right baseline. Ball tipped by Rogers on the inbound, picked up by Sanchez. Second turnover on Black Hills State. Sanchez in the corner gets it out to Parachka. Jackets going man-to-man defensively. Fego bounced inside. Rogers double team. Throws to Sanchez. drives in, off balance, kicks it back out. Rogers trying to save it out of bounds. Turnover on the Comets, their second. Minute and a half in, we're scoreless. Jackets inbounded. Bemis will bring it back up. Now makes his way across the half line. Throws a pass to the high post for Ferguson. White on the left wing. Now the baseline jumper from 16. Too strong. Rebound Rogers. Hands it to Sanchez. Brings it up for the Comets. Sanchez, right corner with the ball. Brings it out top now. Backs it off near center court. Pass to Fago. Fago gets to Rogers. Takes the shot. Drives in. Shot is up. Banks it in. Monty Rogers gets Mayville State on the board. They're up 2-0. 17:50 to go in the first half. Bemis throws it out front. Jackson. Bounce pass down low. Ferguson turns and puts it in. First points for Ferguson. We're tied at 2. Sanchez will bring it back up. Guarded on the right side by White. Sanchez, they try to set up a screen. He gets the pass to Rogers. Out high with it, Parachka. Back to Sanchez on the right side. Pass to Rogers. Fakes the three. Drives in the lane. Kicks it out for Weatherspoon. Fakes the shot. Drives underneath. Lays it in. Archie Weatherspoon gets in the scoring column, and it's 4-2 Mayville State. 17:14 to go in the half. Bemis into the front court on the right side. Bounce pass. Ferguson with the ball. Throws to White. Pass to Doolin. Drives down the lane. Off balance shot off the glass. Won't go. Ball tipped in the air by Jackson. Trying to save it. Doolin came down with it. To White. Fakes the three underneath. Turn around in the lane by Bemis. Won't go. Tip back in by Hallard Jackson. And we're tied at 4. 16:46 to go first half. And the ball goes out the foot of Sanchez. He was able to recover and get it out to Fago. Pass to Parachka between the circles. Spins around a few times. Throws it over to Sanchez. Dribbles it off on the left side. They set up the screen. Shot from 15 on the run. It's good for Gilby Sanchez. Comets up 6-4. Bemis front court on the left side. White on the wing. Down low Jackson. Turns in the lane and he's called for a travel. Third turnover on the Yellow Jackets. We'll see some new faces here. In for the Yellow Jackets are Andre Goldberg, a 5'11 junior from Boulder, Colorado. And Levi Memmer, a 6'5 senior from Buffalo, Wyoming. And for Mayville State, they bring in Cody Lewis, a 6'8 junior from Saybrook, Illinois, and Matt Stenjum, a 6'4 junior from Grand Forks, North Dakota. Pass comes out front. Parachka from 21, rims off. Rebound underneath. Stenjum turns and puts it in, and he gets fouled on the way up. Matt Stenjum's going to the free throw line, and the foul is on Levi Memmer, his first, one on the Yellow Jacket. To the free throw line goes Matt Stenjum. Stenjum, a 64% free throw shooter. Free throw not good. Rebounded by White for the Yellow Jackets. 8-4 Mayville State. 15:55 to go in the half. Goldberg with the ball. Out front to Memmer. Back to Goldberg on the wing. Also Forrest Dorr, sophomore 5'11 from Gillette, Wyoming, in there for the Yellow Jackets. Memmer down low. Ferguson back out Memmer. Dorr. Around the perimeter they go. Goldberg, right corner to White. And he'll back it off on the wing. Throws it to Memmer. Shot clock at 8. Goldberg, right wing. Trying to find some room down the baseline. Fell over. Ball comes free. Shot clock at 2. Long three is put up, and it's good for J.J. White as time was running out of the shot clock. 8-7 Mayville State. 15:17 to go in the half. Sanchez throws to Parachka. Left wing to Lewis. Rogers in the lane. Ball tipped, stolen away by Black Hills State. Third turnover on Mayville State. Goldberg throws it way up the floor, and Rogers pulls it away in midair. 4 turnovers on Black Hills. Right side pull-up three is up with Gilby Sanchez with the three. He has 5 points. 11-7 is our score. Mayville State 5-4. Left wing with the ball is White. Over 14.5 minutes to go in the first half. Bounce to Ferguson. Back to the basket. Turns. Can't find a shot. Gets it to Goldberg. Dorr on the left wing. Fakes the pass. Now throws it out front for Memmer. Hands it to White. Down low Memmer. Little give and go. Put it up off the glass. Won't go. Stenjum took a hit, but no call. Rebounded by Cody Lewis. Sanchez, off-balance three. That was partially deflected. Comet fans wanted a foul, ball out of bounds, and the ruling is it was, in fact, deflected by the Jackets, so the Comets will have possession. Haller Jackson and Amos Bemis back in for the Yellow Jackets. John Fego is in for Mayville State. Comets will also bring in Scott Tice, the 6'6 junior from Shakopee, Minnesota. Comets will inbound, shot clock at 27. Fego from the left baseline throws it way out for Scott Tice. Over to Cody Lewis, back to Tice. To Lewis at the point. He's going to try a long three. It's good. Big 6'8" Cody Lewis hits the three. We've seen him do that a few times this year. Comets up by 7. Their biggest lead. 13:58 to go in the half. Goldberg throws it to Bemis. Dribbles it to his left. Bemis trying to find an opening. Throws it down low for Jackson to the hoop. He's fouled on the way up. Haller Jackson will be at the line. Foul on Matt Stenjum. His first, 3 on Mayville State. (14-7). Comets with the lead. At the line is Haller Jackson. Free throws up, and it rolls in. That'll make it a 14-8 score. Comets have a 6-point lead with 13:48 to go in the first half. Second one's up and good. Comets lead cut to 5. Scott Ferguson returns for Black Hills State, replacing Levi Memmer. So Mayville State will inbound, leading 14-9. Ball comes into Lewis. He's pressured in the backcourt. Over to Tice. They give him a little bit of room. Now Ferguson catching up with him and into the front court with it. Now handed to Sanchez. Pass goes out on the wing. Fego. Lewis gets it to Sanchez. Turns and fires a fadeaway three off the back iron. Rebounded by Bemis. Brings it back up for the Yellow Jackets. Front court, Bemis bounce pass. Went off the foot of Tice and out of bounds. It stays with the Jackets. Archie Witherspoon returns for Mayville State. He'll replace Matt Stenjum. Looking inbound is Goldberg. Throws it to Bemis. Right corner, Goldberg. Back to Bemis. Left wing, Dorr. They set up the screen. Dorr back into the corner. Out for Goldberg. Nearly hit the official with the pass. He didn't see it coming. Down the lane. Layup attempt, and the crowd won't go. Ball deflected around. John Fego the rebound. Brings it back up for the Comets. Pass ahead off the hands of Witherspoon. Not to him on that pass. He had to try to reach for it, and then the ball came free. And we do have a foul here, I believe, somewhere. Nope, just ball out of bounds. Mayville State will have it. Doolin returns for the Yellow Jackets, replacing Goldberg. Parachka's in for Mayville State. He'll replace Lewis. So the Comets will inbound. Shot clock at 28. Sanchez gets it to Parachka. Over to Tice on the wing. Down the baseline in a crowd. Lost the ball to bounds off the Jackets. Went off to Scott Ferguson, who's guarding down low. Comets will inbound with the shot clock at 19. 12:49 to go in the first half. A 14-9 lead for Mayville State. Fego throws it to Sanchez, left corner. Parachka got rid of the defender and shoots up a three. It's good. Nope, put on the line. Give him a long two. 16-9 Mayville State, all the way down the other end. Bemis draws a foul on the way up. He went coast to coast in a matter of a couple of seconds. Bemis will be at the line to shoot two. Foul on Fego, his second. 4 on the Comets. Nope, they're going to say the foul came while he was still on the floor, so no free throws. Rogers will come in for Mayville State. Bemis will look to inbound it. Throws it out to Ferguson. Hands it back to Bemis, who came out on the wing to get the basketball. Bemis at the point, looking for a pass, bounce to Jackson. Backs his way in, turns, puts it up, good. 6 for Hallard Jackson. 16-11. Comets with the lead. 12:15 to go in the first half. Right wing with it is Sanchez. There was a Parachka in the corner. Rogers will pull up for a 3. It's short. Rebound by Casey Doolin for the Jackets. Doolin nearly lost the handle of it. Gets the pass to Bemis inside. Layup not good, and he's called for an offensive foul, knocking over Archie Weatherspoon. The charge against Bemis, his first foul. 2 on the Yellow Jackets. 5 turnovers here in the first half on Black Hill State. Coming in to replace Forrest Dorr is J.J. White from Black Hill State. 12 minutes to play first half. Comets have the ball. They're up 16-11. Across the half line, Sanchez bounces the ball to Rogers, right wing. Down low, Weatherspoon, and a foul here on Black Hill State. It's going to be on Doolin. His first, 3 on Black Hill State. Ron Howard comes in for the first time for Mayville State, a 5'9" junior from Moreno Valley, California. He missed all of Saturday's game in the playoffs against Valley City State with a severe flu bug. They gave him an IV today, and he'll be playing part of this game. Howard throws to Tice, back to Howard, and he's called for a travel. Turnover 4 on Mayville State. Jackets will bring the ball up. Lee Ferguson to inbound in the backcourt. Ball comes into Bemis. Takes the time bringing it up. Bemis brings it over to the wing. Guarded by Rogers. Bounce down low for Jackson. Turns, puts it up high off the glass. No good. Rebound, Andy Parachka. Comets bring it back. Howard into the front court. Howard trying to find an opening. Throws to Tice. Jackets continue to go primarily man-to-man. Tice pulls up from 18. Swish. Oh, his foot was just behind the line. Give him a 3. Scott Tice hits the 3. And the Comets go up by 8 for the first time at 19-11. 11 minutes to go in the half. Pass to White. Fakes the 3. Drives the lane. Jumpers up. Off the back iron. Ball tipped around out of bounds. Last touch by Ron Howard. Comets will bring back in Cody Lewis and Matt Stenjum. They'll give Tyson Weatherspoon a break. Looking inbound is Bemis. Throws the ball into White. White dribbles out front. Now brings it right side. Bounce pass into Jackson. Turns, off balance shot is good. Muscling his way up. Jackson has 8. 19-13. Comets with the lead, and they have the ball as well. 10:35 to go first half. Howard dribbles right side. Throws to Lewis. Nearly lost the handle. Free throw line, Rogers. Turns, spins, shoots. It's good. 4 for Monty Rogers. 21-13 Comets. 10:20 to go in the half. Bemis has it on the wing. Over to White. Brings it back into the corner, fakes the shot, goes in for Jackson, turns in the lane, put it up, not good. Ball tipped around, rebound Stenjum. Hands it to Parachka. Rogers wanted the ball down the floor. Parachka shakes his head, no. Pass goes to Stenjum. Down to Rogers, lost his footing, ball taken away by Scott Ferguson. 5 turnovers on Mayville State. Front court with it is Doolin. They try to set up a screen here. Doolin brings it right side out to White from the right elbow, gets the pass away to Ferguson. Now he'll try from 16. Swish. 4 for Scott Ferguson. 21-15. Mayville State by 6. 9:36 to go in the first half. Bring it back up. Ron Howard dribbles it left side now. Trying to come down the baseline. Nowhere to go. Trapped in the corner. Throws it to Stenjum. And fakes the shot. Inside. Rogers turns. Puts it in. 6 for Monty Rogers. 23-15. Mayville State by 8 once again. 9:13 to go in the first half. Front court with the ball is Ammon Bemis. Bemis guarded by Rogers. Dribbles it to the left side. Looking for a pass somewhere. Down the lane, Ferguson dumps underneath Jackson. Putting it up won't go, but he's fouled. Hallard Jackson will shoot 2. And it's going to be time for a media timeout in just a moment here. Foul on Lewis. His first, 5 on the Comets. 8:57 to go first half. Timeout on the floor. It's Mayville State 23, Black Hills State 15. We'll be back on KMAV and KDSJ in 1 minute. 8:57 to go in the first half. It's Mayville State 23, Black Hills State 15.
50-50 raffle tickets under the United States flag. The drawing will be held.
We'll have free throws here in a moment. As soon as the teams get back on the floor, Haller Jackson will be at the free throw line shooting 2 after the foul on Cody Lewis before the timeout. Jackson has 8 points, 2 out of 2 at the line. Bounces the ball a few times. First one is up and good. 23-16. Mayville State with the lead. Second one is up for Jackson and good. 4 for 4 at the line. He has 10 points. Jackson will now get a break. Shane Hoskins will come in, a sophomore, 6'9" out of Chapman, Kansas, in for the Yellow Jackets. Comets by 6, 8:52 to go first half. They have the ball. Deep left wing, Gilby Sanchez. Bounce to Rogers, out to Weatherspoon, nearly lost it. Now it is tipped away by Doolin. We get a foul here as he got tripped up. Foul's going to be on Andy Parachka. It's his first, number 6 on Mayville State. Jackets inbound. Goldberg with the basketball. Dribbles it over the left side, guarded by Sanchez. Gets it out to Hoskins. Doolin on the wing to White. Gets it back out on the right side to Hoskins. High post, Ferguson. Doolin dribbling right side, knocks over Weatherspoon, but no call. Left side, double team on Goldberg, throws it back out front. Shot clock at 7, down low. Turnaround shot off the glass, won't go for Hoskins. Ball out of bounds, last touch by who? Last off Mayville State. I think Sanchez might have been the last one to touch it. Forrest Dorr is back in for the Jackets to replace Doolin. John Fago in for Mayville State, who replaced Parachka. 8:08 to go in the half. Mayville State leads by 6. Black Hill State inbounds. Hoskins throws it to Goldberg on the wing. He'll bring it all the way around the perimeter over the right corner. Inside Ferguson, back on. In the corner is Goldberg. Throws it left side. Ball tipped by Fago. Tipped the other way. Weatherspoon has it deflected from him. Lewis came up with it. So the Comets do end up with the ball. 6 turnover on the Yellow Jackets. Pass out front. Lewis will try another 3. Hits the back iron. Drops. Won't go. Rebound went through the hands of Weatherspoon. Picked up by Scott Ferguson. Jackets bring it up. 7.5 to play in the first half. Right side, White gets the ball at the door. Goldberg at the point. White, he's open. He'll try a 3-point shot. Halfway down, came out. Ferguson had the rebound, and he's fouled on the way down. And it's against Weatherspoon. Second foul, Archie Weatherspoon, 7 on Mayville State. And Weatherspoon will come out. Matt Stenjum in for Mayville State. At the free throw line, shooting in the bonus is Scott Ferguson. Free throw is up and good. So Ferguson will get another one. 23-18. Mayville State leads by 5. 7:21 to go in the first half. Free throws up and off the mark. Ball tipped by Stenjum. Rebounded by Sanchez. They'll bring it back up. They set up a screen. Sanchez trying to come down the baseline. Cuts through the lane. Gets it out to Rogers. Left corner Sanchez. To Fago on the wing. Gets it to the free throw line. Set up screen. Shot from Stenjum is good for about 18. Matt Stenjum hits the shot, and he has 4 points. 25-18. Comets with the lead. 6:54 to go in the first half. Left wing Goldberg picks up the dribble. Gets the pass to Ferguson. Guarded by Stenjum. Ferguson looking around. Wanted to hand the ball. Now lost the ball. Picked it up. Gets it to Dorr in the right corner. Down low in the lane, put up, won't go for Hoskins, but he's fouled. This might be, okay, it'll be on Lewis, which is a better choice because that's only his second foul. I thought maybe it would have been on Fago. That would have been his third. So Lewis picks up the second foul. It's 8 on Mayville State. Free throw is up and good.
It's for the Yellow Jackets, number 50, Allard Jackson.
Allard Jackson and Ammon Bemis are back in for the Jackets. 6:38 to go in the first half. Mayville State up by 6. Andy Parachki into Mayville State. And as we near the top of the hour, just about 9 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Mountain, you're listening to the championship game of the Dakota Athletic Conference in men's basketball on KMAV 105.5 FM, Mayville, Portland, and on KDSJ, Deadwood, South Dakota. Free throw is good. Back in for the Jackets is Levi Memmer to replace Shane Hoskins, who just drained the 2 free throws. 25-20, Mayville State by 5. They inbound. 6:36 to go in the first half. Front court with it, Parachka. Sanchez with the ball, top of the key. Brings it right side. Shot from 17 is short. Rebounded by Allard Jackson for the Jackets. Goldberg runs it up the floor, chased by Sanchez. Goldberg picks up the dribble, throws to Dorr. He'll try from 14, off the mark. Ball knocked around on the floor. Jackson able to flip it out to his teammate Dorr. And now he'll pull up for a three-point shot. He got it. Forrest Dorr hits the 3. And the lead cuts to 2. Mayville State's going to take a timeout. 6 minutes to go first half. Mayville State 25. Black Hill State 23. We'll be back on KMAV and KDSJ in 1 minute. 6 minutes to go first half, 25-23. Mayville State with lead. Comets took a full timeout. They'll inbound. Ball comes into Monty Rogers. Hands it to Sanchez. Comets have led by 8 a couple of times this half, but right now they're only up by 2. Rogers to Sanchez. Inside double team as they swarm on Stenjum. Gets it out to Sanchez, and now a tie-up. Forrest Dorr able to get his hands on the ball. Mayville State will keep possession. We got going on here. They're official Rob Kuhneman checking on Gilby Sanchez. Did he have a cut or something on his forearm? Okay, that's what it was. So he has to come out, and the Comets have to bring in a sub. They'll bring in Marquise McCullough. McCullough is a 6-foot junior from Anchorage, Alaska. It was actually Andre Goldberg that pointed it out and said he's got a cut or something on his forearm. They cover that up. And McCullough in for Sanchez. Ball inbounded. Parachko set up the offense here. Shot clock at 9. Left side, bounce pass. Rogers spins. Woods put it up, and a foul. This should be against Allard Jackson. He was able to swat the ball away, but he also had a lot of the body bump into Monty Rogers. And nope, actually they're going to call this one against Levi Memmer. So Memmer picks up the foul, his second. That's only 4 on the Yellow Jackets. Monty Rogers at the line, 6 points. First trip to the line. First one's up off the back iron. Ferguson back in for the Yellow Jackets.
44, Scott Ferguson. Also in the Yellow Jackets, number 21.
And J.J. White and Casey Doolin will both come in also for Black Hill State. Rogers will shoot one more free throw. Try to get the Comets back up by 3. Shots up and good. 26-23, Mayville State with the lead. 5.5 minutes to go in the first half. Front court with the ball is Bemis. Guarded by McCullough, and now McCullough bumping into him. A foul here. First one on Marquise McCullough. That's number 9 on the Comets.
Comets is on number 22, Marquise McCullough.
Ammon Bemis at the line, trying to get his first point of the ball game, shooting one in the bonus. gets the free throw and earns himself another attempt. 26-24. 8 of 9 is the team of the Yellow Jackets at the free throw line. Bemis has a chance to make it 9 of 10. Comets, meanwhile, 1 of 3. Free throw is good. So Bemis gets a pair of free throws. 1-point ball game. Comets up 26-25. They inbound. Just over 5 minutes to go in the half. Bring it back up is Andy Parachka. Gets it to Fago. Left of the lane. Stenjum throws it out. Parachka from the right corner. Three-pointers up. Too long on the shot. Pulled down by Marquette McCullough with the rebound for Mayville State. Over to Parachka. Dribbles it around on the left wing. Throws it to Fago. Brings it over on the right side. Rogers to Stenjum. Down the lane. We've got a foul on Black Hill State. This might have been before the shot attempt. Yep. So the Comets are just inbound. First foul on Hallard Jackson. That's 5 against the Yellow Jackets. 4:51 to go first half. 26-25. 1-point lead for the Comets as they inbound it. Fago on the wing. McCullough. Parachka double team back to McCullough. Parachka will load up for a three off the front rim. Rebounded by Bemis. And the Jackets could get their first lead of the game right here. Right side. Three-pointer by Doolins. Up. It's good. Casey Doolin's first points, and the Yellow Jackets have their first lead, 28-26, 4.5 minutes to go in the first half. Left side, Parachka. On the wing, McCullough. Needs some help here, gets the pass to Parachka, fakes the three, dribbles it around at the point. Hands it to Stenjum on the right elbow. Down the lane to Stenjum, put it up, not good. Try to tip it back, won't go. Rebound by Ferguson. Jackets will bring it back. Front corner with the ball is Bemis. Throws a pass to White. And as he went to throw the pass, called for an offensive foul, crashing into one of the Mayville State defenders. Charging on J.J. White, his first foul. That's 6 on the Yellow Jackets, their 7th turnover. Tice, Weatherspoon, and Sanchez all return for Mayville State. 3:59 to go in the first half. 28-26 Yellow Jackets. Comets with the ball. Bring it back up is Parachka. Throws to Sanchez at center circle. McCullough on the right side. Parachka. Left corner Sanchez down the baseline underneath. Throws to Tice down low. Leans in. Put it up. Not good. Rebound by White. Back come the Jackets, leading by 2. Right side, Doolin to White. High post, Jackson. Finds Bemis on the left wing. Pass the lane, White to the hoop. He's fouled on the way up. J.J. White will get a couple of free throws. And Mayville State picks up their 10th team foul. This is the first personal foul on Scott Tice.
First personal foul and the 10th team.
To the line is J.J. White. He'll shoot 2. He has 3 points. That was on a 3-point field goal earlier in the half. He'll make the first free throw. 10 of 11 now as a team at the free throw line. That's where Black Hill State stands right now. Free throws up and good. And we'll get a timeout here by the Yellow Jackets. They'll take a full timeout. 3:29 to go first half. Black Hill State 30, Mayville State 26. We're back in a minute on KMAV and KDSJ. Timeout was taken by Black Hill State. 3:29 to go in the first half. 30-26 Yellow Jackets. Some scores from District 4 boys basketball tournament. Third place game tonight in double overtime. Valley Edinburgh over Cavalier, 69-67. And in the District 4 championship, Midway Minto leads after one quarter, 6-2 over North Border. Mayport CG will play Cavalier in game 1 on Monday in the region tournament, which starts Monday at the Betty Engelstead Arena in Grand Forks. Comets have the ball out of the timeout, and they trail right now by 4. Parachka throwing it down low. Double team on Weatherspoon. Bounce pass out of bounds. 6 turnovers on Mayville State. Here in District 3 today, a couple of region qualifying games. Thompson over Finley Sharon, 68-51. Hillsboro beat Dakota Prairie 36-24 for the district title. Mayport CG held on to beat Haddon Northwood 43-41. Jackets with the ball, knocked free, and it's out of bounds. So wait, looks like we have a foul. So the Yellow Jackets lost the ball, and they were chasing for it right by the scorer's table here. And Doolin kind of wrapped up the legs with Parashka, and the foul's called against Doolin. 8th turnover in the Yellow Jackets, 2nd foul on Doolin, 7 against Black Hills State.
The Yellow Jackets, number 20, Forrest Dorr.
Forrest Dorr back in for the Jackets. At the free throw line is Andy Parashka. 2 points tonight. This is his first attempt at the line. Free throw is good.
In the game for the Comets, number
Rogers back in for Mayville State, replacing Scott Tice. 30-27, Yellow Jackets by 3, 2:56 to go in the first half. Parachka's free throw is up and good, so he makes a couple of free throws. Back to a 2-point ball game, 30-28. Black Hills State with the lead. Fago is back in for Mayville State. Man-to-man defense. They chase the Yellow Jackets in the backcourt. Ball comes into Dorr. He's double teamed. Needs some help here. Gets the ball to White. And now the Comet defense will back up here as White brings the ball up. Down the lane. Gets the layup to go in the crowd. 7 for J.J. White. 32-28. 4-point lead for the Jackets. 2:38 to go in the half. Fago right side with it. Spins around. Looks for a pass. It's tipped stolen away by Ferguson. 7 Mayville State turnovers in the half. Dorr thought about a 3, gets it out to Bemis. Ferguson at the point, guarded by Weatherspoon. Ferguson gets the pass to White. Drives in, hesitates, now drives in again, and he was trapped. Bemis calls a timeout for his team, and this will be a 30. 2:16 to go in the first half. Black Hills State 32, Mayville State 28. We'll be back in 30 seconds. 2:16 to go in the first half. The Yellow Jackets with White down low is in a little bit of trouble. He's trapped down there, and he needs to get rid of the ball. So his teammate Bemis took the timeout. Jackets inbound. Just over 2 minutes to go first half. Bemis on the wing. Drives the lane, and he's called for an offensive foul, pushing his way into Marquise McCullough. McCullough was moving with Bemis the whole time, but the official thought that Bemis put a little force into it, apparently. Second foul on Bemis. That's 8 on the Yellow Jackets. Turnover 9 against Black Hills State. Comets inbound, down 4. Fago brings it up. Slows down as he gets into the front court and gets the pass to Sanchez. Back to Fago. Rogers, left wing, McCullough. Out front, turnaround, three-pointers up, off the back iron for Sanchez, rebounded by Andre Goldberg. Brings it back up for the Jackets, leading by 4. Left corner, White drives in, kicks it out, Ferguson, over to Goldberg on the wing. Dorr, down the lane, put it up, won't go. Rebound, Archie Weatherspoon for Mayville State. Sanchez, left side with the ball. Drives the lane, spins as he put one up. Probably should look for a pass, but the Jackets get the ball. I think he's maybe trying to draw a foul. Right side with it, Goldberg. Dorr deep in the right corner, down low Ferguson. Turns, ball tipped, comes out to White. Three-pointers up, good. J.J. White, second 3 of the half. He has 10 points. 35-28. Yellow Jackets for the first time lead by 7. Minute 6 to go first half. Right side with it is McCullough. Gets to Rogers, fakes the shot, spins in the lane, lost the ball to bounds. Belongs to the Jackets. 8 turnovers on Mayville State. Lewis, Parachka, and Stenjum all back in for Mayville State. They'll replace Weatherspoon, McCullough, and Fago. 58.8 seconds to go first half. Black Hills State will inbound. They lead the Comets by 7. Their biggest lead. Comets had a couple of points in the half, led by 8. Sanchez able to tip the ball free in the backcourt. Let's put up. He's following the way up. It's on Goldberg. First foul on Andre Goldberg. That's 9 on Black Hills State. This will put Gilby Sanchez at the line to shoot 2. He has 5 points.
Foul on the yellow jacket.
And he's at the line for the first time. 50.4 seconds to go in the half. Shots up and good. (35-29). Black Hills State with the lead. Second one from Sanchez is good. 35-30. Black Hills State at the lead, and they have the ball. 48 seconds to go in the half. Goldberg to Dorr. Drives the baseline, kicks it out. Ferguson thought about a shot. Throws it out to Goldberg. Down to 33 seconds in the half. High post Jackson from 18. Rims off, ball tipped around. Dorr came down with it out to Goldberg. Hands it back to Dorr. Shot clock off. 22 seconds to go in the half. Pass goes on the wing to Dorr. Down to 13 seconds. White back near center circle. They're going to run this one down to the half. 7 seconds. White still dribbling between the circles. Down to 4. Drives his way into the hoop. Swatted by Lewis. And the rebound down to Rogers. That's the half. At halftime, it is Black Hills State 35, Mayville State 30. We'll be back here on KMAV and KDSJ and bring you some of the halftime numbers in 2 minutes. We're back here, and at the half, it's Black Hills State 35, Mayville State 30. Let's take a look at some of the numbers from the first half. For Mayville State, they had 11 field goals. 3 of those were from beyond the arc. Gilby Sanchez, Cody Lewis, and Scott Tice each had a three-pointer. Comets at the free throw line made 5 out of 7. And they turned over the basketball 8 times by my count. For Black Hills State, they had 10 field goals. 4 of those were threes. J.J. White had 2 threes. Casey Doolin and Forrest Dorr each had a three-pointer. Black Hills State at the free throw line shot in a very impressive 11 out of 12. 92% at the free throw line in the first half. And the Yellow Jackets, by my count, had 10 turnovers in the first half. 35-30. Black Hills State with a 5-point lead over Mayville State at the half. For Black Hills State, from the field, they made 10 field goals out of 26 attempts, 39% on threes. The Yellow Jackets were 80%. They made 4 out of 5 shots from three-point range. For Mayville State on field goals, 46%, 11 out of 24. And from three-point land, the Comets were 30%, 3 out of 10. 35-30, Black Hills State by 5 at the half. And we'll be back with more in 2 minutes. Here at the half, it's a 35-30 Black Hills State lead over Mayville State. Individual scoring totals from the first half for Mayville State. They were led by both Gilby Sanchez and Monty Rogers, each with 7 points. 4 points each for Andy Parachka and Matt Stenjum. 3 points for Cody Lewis, 3 for Scott Tice, 2 points for Archie Weatherspoon. For Black Hills State, they're led by J.J. White and Haller Jackson, who each had 10 points in the half. Scott Ferguson had 5. 3 points apiece for Casey Doolin and Forrest Dorr. 2 points for Ammon Bemis and 2 points for Shane Hoskins. Rebounding numbers, Black Hills State on rebounded Mayville State 19-12. The Yellow Jackets were led in rebounding by Scott Ferguson and Haller Jackson, each with 4 rebounds. And Mayville State was led in rebounding by Matt Stenjum, who had 4. Nobody else on the team has more than 1 rebound, but they're definitely spread out. Actually, 7 different Comets players have 1 rebound, and there's also a team rebound on the official stats. Comets, of their 12 rebounds, 4 of those are on the offensive side, 8 are defensive boards. For Black Hills State, pretty even. 9 offensive and 10 defensive rebounds for Black Hills State. Comets have 5 steals here at the half. Monty Rogers and John Fago each have 2 steals. Andy Parachka has 1. For Black Hills State, they had 4 team steals, 2 for Scott Ferguson, 1 apiece for Casey Doolin and Andre Goldberg. Each team had 1 block shot in the first half. Goldberg had 1 for the Yellow Jackets. Lewis picked up a block for Mayville State as he, it wasn't a direct, clean block shot. It was kind of swatted from the side of the ball and was able to at least deflect the shot right before the end of the half, which would have possibly given the Yellow Jackets a 7-point lead at halftime, but instead it's a 35-30 lead for Black Hills State at halftime. We'll return with more from Louis Lee Fieldhouse on the Mayville State campus in 2 minutes. 35-30, Black Hills State leads by 5 over Mayville State at halftime. We welcome you to join us tomorrow on KMAV 105.5 FM for the Comets Radio-a-thon, as we'll have several of the Mayville State players, or as many as we can get, also the coaching staff for Mayville State, come by, and they'll be live on the air tomorrow morning starting at 9 a.m. They'll be taking donations as the Comets get ready for their trip down to College of the Ozarks down in Missouri, around the Branson area, for the NAIA Division II Men's National Tournament, which starts on Wednesday, March 8th. So again, the radio-a-thon is tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. on KMAV 105.5 FM here at the Mayville State Louis Lee Fieldhouse. Earlier today, in case you missed it, here on KMAV, in the final day of action at the District 3 boys basketball tournament here at the Louis Lee Fieldhouse earlier today, it was in a region qualifier, Hillsborough over Dakota Prairie, 36-24. Another region qualifier, Thompson defeated Finley Sharon, 68-51. So that means Hillsborough finishes in 4th place in the tournament. Thompson finishes 3rd. Then in the championship game of the district tournament, Mayport CG held on to beat Haddon Northwood 43-41. Mayport CG finishes 1st, Haddon Northwood 2nd in the district tournament. Up in District 4, in the 3rd place game, took double overtime for Valley Edinburgh to defeat Cavaliers 69-67. And in the District 4 championship, Midway Minto had a small lead after 1 quarter of play. That game is in progress. Mayville State and Black Hills State are both on the floor getting ready for the second half. It's a 5-point advantage for the Yellow Jackets here at the half. Again, should Mayville State win or lose, they'll move on to the national tournament, but the Comets are playing for positioning. It's all about positioning. They're going for a higher seed going in, and a win would do that. Black Hills State, to get in, they're looking for a win here tonight, and they have the advantage at the half, leading by 5. Well, the second half coming up in 2 minutes.
You're in tune to KMAV, Mayville, Portland, 105.5 FM.
Black Hills State would go with the original 5 starters: Doolin, White, Jackson, Bemis, and Ferguson. Mayville State will go with their starting 5 as well: Sanchez, Parachka, Weatherspoon, Fago, and Rogers. Black Hills State will inbound with the Jackets up 35-30. Ferguson tosses the ball into Doolin in the backcourt. Over to Bemis. Guarded by Sanchez in the backcourt is Bemis. Now across the half line, bounce pass out front to Jackson. Double team, throws it back out to Bemis. White between the circles. Dribbles it to his left into the corner. Comes down the baseline, no-look pass to Ferguson. Jumper on the right side, swish. 7 for Scott Ferguson. Back to a 7-point lead for the Yellow Jackets, 37-30. Sanchez bounces the ball to Parachka, hands it back to Sanchez in the corner. Now back to Parachka on the wing. Rogers has the ball going through his legs. Ball knocked free, picked up by Weatherspoon. Over to Fago. Dribbles it to his left, bounce pass down low, double team on Weatherspoon, muscles one up, not good, ball tipped out. Rogers trying to save it, and his foot was on the line, so out of bounds, and it does belong to the Jackets. Yellow Jackets will bring it up, leading by 7. Trying to extend their lead here. This is their biggest lead at this point. Pass goes out on the wing to White. Doolin on the right elbow. Throws it out to Bemis. Backing his way in, Jackson. The hook shot's up, not good. Holy smokes, Ferguson did a flip in the air. Bemis able to put the shot in. Ferguson went off a Comet and did a flip, but caught himself. Bemis with the bucket. He has 4, and the biggest lead at 9 here for the Yellow Jackets. There, Jackson blocks the shot attempt from behind by Sanchez. Bemis with the rebound, and the corner three-pointers up off the mark for Doolin, rebounded by Sanchez. Comets trail by 9, 18:23 to go in the ball game. Pass goes to Rogers. Three-pointers up, it's good. Monty Rogers has 10 to lead the way for Mayville State. 39-33. Black Hill State with the lead, and the Jackets have the ball. Bemis bounces it to Ferguson. He lost the defender as he lays it in. That's 9 for Ferguson. 41-33, Yellow Jackets. 17:56 to go. Sanchez hands it on the right side, gets the pass to Fago. Top of the key with it, Rogers. Pass a little off the mark for Sanchez to haul in as he had to chase it down. Rogers turns and fires from 18. Won't go. Ball tipped around. Rebound by Haller Jackson. Bemis will bring it back up. Long pass to White all alone. Pulls up for a 3. Got it. J.J. White's third 3. He has 13, and it's an 11-point lead for Black Hill State. 44-33 with over 17 minutes to go. And the Comets, they pass around. They call a timeout. This is a full timeout. 17:20 to go in the ball game. Black Hill State 44, Mayville State 33. We're back in 1 minute on KMAV and KDSJ. 17:20 to go in the ball game. Mayville State took a full timeout. They are down 11. That's the most they've been trailing in this game. There's a 5-point lead for Black Hill State at the half, and we're not yet 3 minutes in the second half, and it's already an 11-point lead. 44-33. Yellow Jackets in front. Comets with the ball. Bounce pass from Sanchez to Rogers. Fago down the lane. Fakes the pass, shoots, and it got tipped back in by Weatherspoon. And that was not an intentional tip-in. It was just kind of deflected off of him and back in. Now a foul on Mayville State. First on Sanchez. First team foul on the Comets here in the second half. 44-35. Yellow Jackets by 9. 17 minutes to play. Bemis looks to get it in, finds Ferguson left of the lane. He'll bring it back onto the wing, over to White. White back near the half line, looks over to Coach Sather. Gets the pass to Bemis. Throws it to Ferguson at the point. Dribbles once, finds White on the left side. Doolin at the point to Ferguson. Down the baseline in a crowd. He's fouled on the way up. Scott Ferguson will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Foul is on Archie Weatherspoon, his third. Second Mayville State foul they have. Ferguson's 1 of 2 at the line. Yellow Jackets is a team 11 of 12. First toss is up. Got it.
In the game for the Comets, number 44,
Matt Stenjum in for Mayville State. Andre Goldberg returns for Black Hill State. And Levi Memmer also come in for the Jackets. 16:35 to go. Back to a 10-point lead for Black Hill State. Well, Memmer's going to wait. He's going to come in for the shooter. Lewis in for Mayville State to replace Fago. Free throw is good. So Ferguson hits them both. And the Jackets are 13 of 14 at the stripe. 46-35. Jackets by 11. 16:35 to go as Mayville State looks to inbound. They go with the man-to-man pressure defense here. In the backcourt, Parachka bringing it up. Being chased by Doolin. Pass goes to Sanchez on the left side. Lewis trying to go down low, and a foul here. Pushing up on Memmer. third foul on Memmer. First foul of the second half on the Jackets.
Third personal foul on the second team.
Ball's inbounded. Lewis gets it to Sanchez. Parachka, right wing, tried for a pass, was too high and stolen away by Goldberg. Left side, Goldberg, cross-court pass, Doolin to White. Comets now have 9 turnovers. White on the wing to Doolin. Inside, Jackson turns, puts it up, it's short. Rebound by Matt Stenjum for Mayville State. Sanchez brings it back up on the right side, pulls up for a long three, and it rolls in, falls in. That one took a couple of rolls around the rim before dropping through. Sanchez with the three. 8-point lead now for the Jackets, and we've got a foul somewhere as it'll be an offensive foul on the Jackets. Stenjum got clobbered down there. I was waiting to see the official ruling, but it is an offensive foul against Goldberg. His second foul, 2 on the Jackets, turnover 11 on Black Hill State. So the Comets will inbound. Forrest Dorr in for the Jackets. 46-38, Black Hill State with the lead. Comets have the ball, 15:38 to go. It'll be Sanchez, bring it back up. Dribbles it over the right side, guarded by Goldberg. They set up the screen. Sanchez all alone from 17. Swish. Beautiful. Screen set up by Lewis out high, and Sanchez took advantage. 46-40 Jackets, and the Comets tipped it free, but we have a foul call on Mayville State, and Craig Smith not too pleased about that. Monty Rogers had the foul call on him, his first, 3 on the Comets, as he nearly came up with the basketball, but then got called to the foul. Ferguson and Bemis back in for the Jackets. Yellow Jackets will inbound their 11-point lead just moments ago. Now it's 6. All inbounded to Bemis. Still plenty of time left. Over 15 minutes to go in this one. Goldberg has it on the right side, being chased. Throws to Bemis, left wing, out front to Dorr. Over to Goldberg, left wing, cross-court pass, Dorr down the baseline. Put it up on the run, not good. Rebound Lewis. Comets will bring it up. Trailing by 6, 14:53 to go in the game. Sanchez on the right side. They set up a screen. Off-balance three-point shot is up. Hung on the rim, but wouldn't go. And Lewis got hammered on the way down. No foul. Bemis brings it back up for the Jackets. Inside to the hoop. Pass underneath. Ferguson put it up into his hip. Bring it back up. Sanchez. I think Stenjum got a piece of it. Handed to Rogers. Gets the bucket and the foul. Holy smokes. The ball nearly got away from Rogers, I think, on the way up. And as he just heaved it up two-handed, didn't have a lot of control of the ball, but he got it to rattle home. And at the line is Monty Rogers to try to complete a three-point play. The foul is on Dorr, his first, 3 on the Jackets. And the Comets have cut an 11-point lead to 4, a 7-0 run in probably about a minute and a half time, if that. So Rogers to shoot 1 of 2 at the line, got it. He has 6 in the second half, 13 in the game. 46-43. Jackets lead cut to 3. 14:25 to go. Mayville State is on an 8-0 run. Driving in, White off-balance shot is short. Rebound, Monty Rogers gets the pass away to Fago. Waits for his teammate, throws it to Sanchez. Brings it front court on the right side. Sanchez gets around the screen, hands it to Fago, brings it down the lane, back out Rogers. Fakes the shot down the lane, and the pass went out of bounds. Comets wanted a deflection, but did not touch anyone on Black Hill State. Turnover on the Comets, their 10th. Jackets inbound, up by 3, 14 minutes to play. Double team in the backcourt. White has it stripped by Fago, and now the ball knocked out of bounds, and it's ruled off of Mayville State. Well, I thought for sure there that if it's not off the Jackets, it would have been a foul on the Jackets, but it's a turnover each way. The Yellow Jackets are going to take a timeout. 13:57 to go, and it's a 46-43 lead for the Jackets. We'll be back here in 30 seconds. Timeout taken by the Yellow Jackets, 13:57 to go. Black Hill State still leads it 46-43, but they were up 46-35 just a couple of minutes ago. Glad you could join us tonight. KMAV Mayville, Portland, 105.5 FM, KDSJ, Deadwood, South Dakota. Glad to have those of you listening on our webcast, KMAVradio.com or MayvilleState.edu. Jackets with the ball. Dorr pulls up for a three from the corner. Didn't go. Ball tipped around. Bemis comes up with it down the lane. And he got the bucket, but it won't count. Foul came before he went up. This is on Lewis, his third. 4 on Mayville State. So Weatherspoon and Lewis each have 3 fouls for the Comets. Memmer off the bench for 3 for the Jackets. Ball comes in. Jackson puts it in. First point of the second half, he has 12. 48-43 Jackets. One-handed shot pushed up on the run by Sanchez. Won't go. Rebound Jackson. Up to Dorr. Left corner. White fakes the three. Gets it out to Bemis. Right corner. Shot put up for 3. Won't go by Dorr. Rebounded by John Fago. They'll bring it back up the other way. Pass to Lewis. All alone. He'll try a long 3. That one rims off. Rebound Rogers, and he fouled on the way up. Monty Rogers will be at the line to shoot 2 more. Foul on Ferguson. His first. 4 on Black Hill State. Monty Rogers is at the line. He's made 2 of 3 and has 13 points. And he'll get the first one. Weatherspoon and Palachka in for Mayville State. Casey Doolin is back in for Black Hill State. Nope, now Palachka goes back out to the scorer's table as he's not coming in yet. Second one's up and good. And now Palachka come in. He came in for the shooter, Monty Rogers. 48-45. Black Hill State with the lead. 13-10 to go. Bemis will look to inbound. Gets the ball in to Ferguson in the backcourt. Everyone being pressured in the backcourt. Actually, a couple of players down the other end. White across the half line. Fago stays with him. White brings it to the right side. Bounces it inside. Ferguson backs his way in. Weatherspoon got the hand on it. It's taken away by Fago. Thought it'd be a jump ball, but it wasn't called. Eventually, the Comets came up with it. And Sanchez just made a shot as the whistle was blown. I thought maybe they'd give him the bucket, but they're going to rule that the foul was before the shot. It'll be the third foul on Doolin, 5 against the Yellow Jackets. So the Comets will inbound. They get no bucket. Tice is in for Mayville State to replace Lewis. Comets with the ball, down 3, 12:45 to go. Long pass into Scott Tice. Over to Gilby Sanchez on the right side. Fago fakes the pass in, fakes again, throws to Parachka on the wing, out to Sanchez from 21, switch. And we are tied at 48. Sanchez drains his third 3 of the night. He has 15 points. An 11-point deficit erased. 12:23 to go. Yellow Jackets with the ball are tied at 48. Comets are on a 13-2 run. Take that back, 14-3 run, I think. Still 13-2 is right. Underneath, turning and putting it in is Jackson. He has 14. 50-48. Black Hill State has the lead back. 12:02 to go. Sanchez throws to Fago. Out front, Tice. Parachka on the left side. Sanchez down the lane, and a crowd bounce to Weatherspoon. Went for a dunk, but he had it deflected, and the rebound comes down to Bemis. Kicks it out. Doolin pulls up for a 3. Got it. 3-pointer for Casey Doolin. He has 6 points and a couple of trays, 1 in each half. And just like that, back to a 5-point lead for Black Hill State. 11:35 to go. Sanchez throws it to Tice. Memmer waiting to come back in for the Jackets. Fadeaway shot in the corner, rolls off for Fago. Rebound, Tice underneath. Put it up, and it's blocked by Ferguson. Rebound by the Comets again. Parachka, the hoop, he lays it in. Andy Parachka has 6. Comets got a couple offensive rebounds that time. 53-50 Yellow Jackets, 11:09 to go. Bemis throws the ball out of the high post to Jackson, gets it to White, back on the wing. Backs it off here on the left side. Comets going man-to-man defense. Doolin and Parachka tried to tip it free, called for reach-in. Second foul on Andy Parachka. That's 5 on Mayville State. Matt Stenjum in for Mayville State. Levi Memmer and Shane Hoskins are in for Black Hills State. Now Andre Goldberg will come in for the Yellow Jackets as well. And the Comets bring a couple more subs. Monty Rogers and Marquette McCullough. 10:54 to go in the ball game. It's a 53-50 Black Hills State lead. Jackets will inbound it here from the left side. Ball comes into Goldberg. Dribbles it up into the corner, brings it back out, pass to White. Trying to find room somewhere. Now to Doolin. Inside, Hoskins back out. Goldberg to White. Out on the wing. Pivots around a little bit. Tries the driving, kicks it out. Doolin from the corner, hits another three. 9 points for Casey Doolin on 3 three-pointers. 56-50. Jackets by 6. 10:20 to go. Left side with the basketball. Sanchez gets it out to Parachka. McCullough back to Parachka. Sanchez fakes the three, dribbles the left side, bounces to McCullough, comes down the baseline underneath, kicks out all alone. Parachka from the right corner. It's a little short. And Stenjum went for the rebound. We've got a foul. Stenjum got knocked down. If he tried to come up with a rebound, the foul's against Hoskins, his first. 6 on Black Hills State. So the Comets will inbound, 10:02 to play. We hit very close to the halfway point in the second half. Parachka trying to find an opening, throws it way out there near the half line to Rogers. McCullough gets it to Sanchez, again to McCullough. Cross court, Parachka. Underneath, Rogers spins, nearly lost it, went up with it, and we've got a foul. The Yellow Jackets wanted to travel. Foul on Hoskins, his second. At 7 on Black Hills State. So at the line, shoot 2 is Monty Rogers. Rogers now 4 out of 5 at the line. Free throw is good. Cody Lewis comes back in for Mayville State. Comets back within 5. Rogers will try to make it 4 as he'll shoot his free throw. First, the Yellow Jackets are making a couple of substitutions here. Hallard Jackson and Scott Ferguson are back in. Rogers gets ready to shoot again. Free throw is short, and Stenjum nearly got the tip, and now gets the rebound again. Put it up, won't go. Ball knocked around on the floor. Rogers nearly had it. No, it comes down to Goldberg. Comets missed a couple golden opportunities there as they almost had the offensive putback. 56-51, Yellow Jackets with the lead. 9.5 minutes to go. White gets it to Goldberg for Black Hills State. Goldberg looks around, dribbling at the point, hands it to Doolin, and lost the handle. White was there to get it, shoots from 16, swish. 15 for J.J. White, 58-51, the Yellow Jackets, 9:12 to go. Left wing with the ball is McCullough. Tried to bounce it down low and went off the foot of Goldberg. Kick ball. So Mayville State will inbound. Bemis is back in for the Yellow Jackets, replaced White. From the left side, McCullough inbounds. Parachka backs it off here as they set up the offense again. Jackets going man-to-man. McCullough, left side. Wanted to bounce it down low, now is able to. Stenjum turns, gets the bucket. 6 off the bench for Stenjum, 58-53. Yellow Jackets with the lead, 8:41 to go. Goldberg has it on the right side. Guarded by McCullough. Bounce pass. Jackson double team. Back out Goldberg. He'll try a three-point shot. It's short. Rogers with the rebound for Mayville State. He's going to let everybody get past him. Now hands the ball to Parachka. Over on the wing, McCullough. To Stenjum, left of the lane. Throws it out to Parachka on the right side. Rogers. And he had it ripped right out of his hands by Allard Jackson. Turnover 12 on Mayville State. Black Hill State leads by 5. 8:02 to play. Pass to Bemis. Down low, Ferguson back to the basket. Back out to Bemis. Long pass, nearly taken away. Goldberg now all alone from 16. Jumpers off the back iron. Rebounded by Ferguson, and Marquise McCullough able to get in there for a tie-up. And now we've got two officials fighting over whether or not it's a foul or a jump ball. Now it's called a foul. But they called it on the wrong number. Should be 22, not 32. Should be 22. Should be 22. 22. There, now it's corrected. So McCullough nearly had a jump ball there, but it's the second foul. 6 on Mayville State. Comets would have had the ball if it would have been a jump ball. So break there for Black Hills. Doolin backs up near the half line. Brings over the left side, gets the pass to Jackson. Right side, White. 17 on the shot clock, 7.5 minutes to play. White trying to drive in, knocks down Cody Lewis. Ball comes free, picked up by Bemis. And now a reach-in foul is called on McCullough. That was incidental contact between both teams, if anything. Third foul on McCullough, 7 on Mayville State. So now the Yellow Jackets are in the bonus. Both teams are now. 7:26 to go. Yellow Jackets lead 58-53. Bego will come in for Mayville State to replace McCullough. At the line, he is Ammon Bemis. He has 4 points, 2 out of 2 at the line, shooting 1 in the bonus. Free throws up off the back iron. Ball tipped around. Archie Weatherspoon comes down with it for Mayville State. Comets have the ball, trailing by 5. On the wing is Sanchez. Top of the key, Lewis. Finds Parachka on the left side. Inside, backing his way in is Weatherspoon. Turns and puts it in a crowd. 6 for Archie Weatherspoon. 58-55 Yellow Jackets. Bemis lost the ball, got it back. Throws it to Jackson. 7 minutes remaining. Left wing with the basketball is White. Gets it out to Bemis. Dribbling at the point. Bemis looks around, finds Doolin in the corner. Down low, turnaround is up, and it rolls in for Jackson. And the foul as well. It's going to send him to the line to shoot 1. Foul on Lewis, his 4th. 8 on Mayville State. Back to a 5-point lead for the Yellow Jackets. They'll be at the line to shoot 1. 10 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Mountain. This is KMAV Mayville, Portland, 105.5 FM, and KDSJ, Deadwood, South Dakota. Free throw not good. Rebound. Lewis came down with it, and now a foul on Ferguson. This will send Lewis to the line as we'll go down to the other end of the floor. Second foul on Scott Ferguson, 8 on Black Hill State.
44, Scott Ferguson. That's his second personal foul and the 18th foul.
And Stenjum returns for Mayville State. 6:44 to go. 60-55, Black Hill State with the lead. Cody Lewis is at the free throw line, shooting 1 of the bonus for the Comets. Free throw not good, rebounded by Doolin for the Yellow Jackets. Bemis brings the ball back up. Gets the pass away out at the high post to Jackson. Throws it to Bemis. Turns down the lane, shots up, rolls off. Ferguson pulls it down, keeps the dribble as he falls to the floor and gets a timeout. 6:23 to go. It's Black Hill State 60, Mayville State 55. And the Yellow Jackets take a full timeout. We're back in 1 minute. Timeout taken by the Yellow Jackets. 6:23 to go in the ball game. It's Black Hill State 60, Mayville State 55. The Yellow Jackets have 2 timeouts left. Mayville State has 4 left. Black Hill State led at the half 35-30. Mayville State was down 46-35, but was able to come back on a 13-2 run. And we were tied at 48, but then the Comets weren't able to get the lead. Yellow Jackets have led or been tied since late first half, and the Yellow Jackets just beat a 5-count getting the ball in. White with the basketball out front. In the corner is Doolin. Bemis gets it to White. Pulls it back into the left corner. Hands the ball to Ferguson. Shot clock at 11. Ferguson trying to find room to get it open somewhere and finds Doolin on the wing. Down to 6 on the shot clock. Doolin off balance for 3. Didn't go. Rebound Ferguson on the offensive rebound. Puts it back in. Yellow Jackets have been tremendous on the offensive boards tonight. 62-55. Long 3 is up by Sanchez. That's too strong. Rebounded by White and a foul on Mayville State. And I think Cody Lewis is fouled out. Nope. It's on Stenjum, not on Lewis. Take that back. Oh, never mind. That's on the Yellow Jackets. Scott Ferguson's 3rd foul. 9 on Black Hill State, so Cody Lewis is at the line for Mayville State. Free throws up and good. They're fighting for the ball down low. Wasn't sure exactly who committed the foul. So Lewis gets the first free throw. He'll shoot another. 5:38 to go. Comets within 6. Make it 5 as Lewis drains the second one. 62-57. Black Hill State with the lead. Yellow Jackets will bring it up. Across the half line is White. It's like a log jam down in the lane with the 2 teams moving around. Now it's kind of spread out a bit. Bemis on the left side. Bounce to Jackson. Back out. Bemis comes down the lane. Ball came free. Jackson got it to go, but it won't count as Bemis crashed in. A player control foul. Bemis picks up his 3rd foul. 10 on the Yellow Jackets. That's their 14th turnover. Comets will inbound. Down 5. 5:14 to go. Parachka bringing it up. Guarded by Doolin. Hands the ball to Sanchez. Pass goes to Parachka in the wing. Inside to Stenjum. Backs his way in, turns, tried to dunk it, and it came out. Rogers the rebound, put it up, not good. And the ball rebounded by Doolin. Comets just need a lay-in there to pick up the points, but the dunk attempt didn't quite get the points there. And a foul here on Mayville State. Down on the other end, it's on Stenjum, his 2nd foul. 9 on the Comets. At the line shooting 1 in the bonus, Hallard Jackson. Jackson's 4 out of 5 at the line, 16 points. Shots off the mark, rebound Cody Lewis from Mayville State. 4:44 to go. It's 62-57 Yellow Jackets. Sanchez throws to Lewis. Gets the ball to Parachka out top. Trying to drive in. Now caught on the right elbow. Needs to find an opening. And the Comets need to take a timeout. 30-second timeout by Mayville State. They trail by 5. 4:27 to go. And we're back at 30 seconds. Comets will inbound. Shot clock at 17. They took the timeout. A little under 4.5 minutes remaining. It's a 5-point lead for the Yellow Jackets. Parachka throws to Stenjum. Shot clock at 8. Handed back to Parachka. 3-pointer on the way. Off the back iron. And Bemis tried to bounce it off Stenjum and get it out of bounds. And Stenjum's called with a foul. That's his 3rd. 10 on Mayville State. So now we go to the other end. Bemis is at the line to shoot 2. With 4:13 to go. Yellow Jackets by 5. Comets have not had a lead since the first half. Free throw in and out. They were able to tie it, though, earlier on in the second half at 48 when they were down by 11. Went on a 13-2 run, tied at 48, but then the Yellow Jackets quickly got the lead back. Free throw is good. So Bemis gets 1 of 2. Fago back into the Comets, replaced Cody Lewis. 4:13 to go. 63-57. Yellow Jackets by 6. Bemis will get a break. Goldberg is back in for the Jackets. Man-to-man defensively in the backcourt as Karachka brings it up. Now everyone's backing up. Karachka across the half line over to Sanchez. Dribbles on the left side. Pass to Stenjum. Dribbles in the lane, spins to the hoop, lays it in. Matt Stenjum has 8. 63-59. Comets within 4. Goldberg kicks it out. White, good look for a 3. Good. J.J. White hits the 3. He has 18 points. 66-59. Yellow Jackets. 3:33 to go. Sanchez leans in, blocked by Haller Jackson, and he gets the rebound as well. Up to White. Brings it up on the left side. Throws to Goldberg. Top of the key with it, Ferguson, and Doolin is looking the other way. Ball passed out of bounds. Turnover 15 on Black Hill State. Archie Weatherspoon in for Mayville State to replace Matt Stenjum. With 3:21 to go. Comets will inbound. They trail the Yellow Jackets 66-59. Sanchez with the basketball into the front court with it. Karachka to Rogers. Sanchez ends up all alone, shoots the 3, a little bit short, runs down for the rebound. Bounces it in to Rogers. Flings it out, shot from 15 is short for Weatherspoon. Ball on the floor, they try to save it. And Fago able to come up with it over to Weatherspoon, reverse layup. Hung on the rim but wouldn't fall in. We do have a foul though. Archie Weatherspoon will be at the line. Comets got a few breaks there, getting those offensive rebounds. Something that the Yellow Jackets have done an excellent job on tonight. The Comets got a few rebounds they needed right there. The foul on Jackson is second. 11 against Black Hill State. Archie Weatherspoon, 6 points, first trip to the line. First one's good.
In the game for the Comets, number 22,
Marquise McCullough back in for Mayville State. Hammond Bemis is back in for Black Hill State. 2:54 to go. 66-60, Yellow Jackets. Second one for Weatherspoon is short. McCullough with the rebound, went to put it up, and he's fouled. Marquise McCullough's going to be at the free throw line to shoot 2. Comets are starting to get some of these offensive rebounds, and it's a good sign. Foul on Ferguson, that's his 4th. 12 against Black Hill State. Marquise McCullough is at the free throw line to shoot 2. With 2:51 to go. Comets within 6. Shots up, been good. First point of the night for McCullough. 66-61. Black Hill State by 5. McCullough to shoot again. Good. So he gets them both. 66-62. Black Hill State with the lead. The Yellow Jackets will bring it up with 2:51 to go. Matt Stenjum returns for the Comets, replacing Archie Weatherspoon. Bemis from the end line to get it in. As they're covered man-to-man, Ferguson up to Bemis, and we have a foul as Bemis knocks down Stenjum. Fouls against Stenjum. His 4th foul, number 11 on Mayville State.
Foul on the Comets is on number 44, Matt Stenjum.
So Ammon Bemis is at the line to shoot 2. Bemis tonight 3 of 5 at the line. 5 points. First toss is up and good. 67-62, Yellow Jackets, 2:50 to go. John Fago returns from Mayville State, replacing Marquise McCullough. Second one from Bemis is up. Got them both. 68-62, Yellow Jackets. 2:45 to go as Mayville State has the ball. Gilby Sanchez across the half line with it. Sanchez on the left side, bounces the ball to Monty Rogers. Back to Sanchez, fakes the shot. Back in the corner. Throws it out to Parachka. Dribbles it left side, hands it to Sanchez, lost the ball and then got it back. Dribbles on the wing, shot clock at 6. Backs it up, shoots a long three, swish. And Sanchez was falling over. He got the three off from about 22. 68-65, Yellow Jackets. 2:05 to go. Sanchez tipped it away from Bemis. Up to the hoop, and he hesitates, allowing Bemis to get by, missed it, and then a putback by Matt Stenchum. Comets within 1. Minute 53 to go. Bringing it back up is Doolin. And the Comet fans are jumping in the stands, and we've got a full timeout by the Yellow Jackets. Minute 44 to go. It's Black Hills State 68, Mayville State 67. We'll be back in 1 minute. Minute 44 to go in regulation, and it's Black Hills State 68, Mayville State 67. Black Hills State took the timeout. They will be inbounding. Yellow Jackets have 1 timeout left. The Comets have 3 remaining. Gilby Sanchez drained that 3 as the shot clock was ticking down. Then got the steal at half court. Missed the layup as he kind of made a stutter move to let the defender get by, but Stenchum was able to get the tip back, and now it's a 1-point ball game. Jackets inbound. Comet student fans are jumping in the stands. Shot clock at 13. White dribbles right side. In the corner to Doolin. Down to 8 on the shot clock. Bemis to White. Down the lane to the hoop. Layup too high off the glass. Ball tipped around on the floor. Picked up by Monty Rogers. The Comets can get their first lead of the second half. Minute 19 to go. Right side with it. Sanchez with the ball. Drives in, and the crowd trying to make a pass, and it's thrown away by the Jackets. 13 turnovers, Mayville State. Comets down 1. Minute 5 to go. Doolin setting up the offense here. Across the half line, dribbling deep on the right side. Doolin brings it out front, now backs it off. 54 seconds. Shot clock at 18. Ferguson left to the lane. Back out to Bemis. Shot clock at 12. Bemis looks around. Still holding the ball, and now 5-second violation. He held the ball for too long, and I had a feeling that was coming. Turnover on the Yellow Jackets, their 16th. And the Comets will inbound with a chance to get the lead. They need 1 to tie, 2 to get the lead. 43 seconds to go. They go back in for Mayville State. Rogers will inbound for the Comets. Looks around, gets into Fago in the backcourt. Guarded by Bemis. Down to 37 seconds. Comets within 1. And the Comets take a timeout as they get in front court. This is a full timeout. 35.5 seconds to go. Black Hills State 68, Mayville State 67. We'll be back with more on KMAV and KDSJ in 30 seconds. Mayville State took the timeout. The Comets have 2 timeouts left. One's a full timeout. The other's a 30-second timeout. Yellow Jackets have 1 timeout. That's a full timeout. 35.5 seconds to go in regulation of this one. It's Black Hills State 68, Mayville State 67. Game clock at 35.5, shot clock at 28. Mayville State has the basketball. They can take the lead with just a 2-point field goal. Comets have not led in the second half. They were down 46 to 35 at one point. Went on a 13-2 run, tied it at 48, only to see Black Hills State get on a bit of a run after that. So the Comets have not led in the second half. They led for the majority of the first half, only to be down 35-30 at the half to Black Hills State. Comets inbound. Parachka gets it in to Sanchez. Dribbling in center circle. Bounces it to Stenchum. To the hoop, off balance, put it up, no foul call, ball out of bounds, off of Black Hills State. Boy, I thought Stenchum was fouled on the way up, but the Comets maybe catch a little break there. Now the shot clock is off. 27.4 seconds to go. Mayville State down a point. Parachka gets it in to Rogers. Over to Fago. Drives in, pass to Rogers, backs his way in, turns, puts one up, won't go, ball knocked free, tipped, it comes out to Parachka. Down to 15 seconds, Rogers gets it up, Parachka will try a three, it's short. Ball tipped around, and it's out of bounds. Who's it off? Last touch by Black Hill State with 8.5 seconds to go. Timeout Mayville State, we're back here in 30 seconds. 8.5 seconds to go in regulation. 68-67. Black Hill State leads Mayville State by 1. The Comets took the timeout. Comets took a timeout at 35.5. They went to the bucket. They didn't get it. They were able to get the offensive rebound, though. Then the ball went out of bounds off Black Hill State. Comets inbound. They were not able to make a shot. Ball went out of bounds again off Black Hill State, and now the Comets will inbound, trailing by 1 with 8.5 seconds to go. From the left baseline, John Fago to inbound. Fago looking around to find somebody open, throws underneath. Rogers in a crowd, gets the bucket. Timeout. Mayville State wanted a timeout. Officials didn't see it. Bring it back up the other way. Pass underneath Jackson. Can't get it to go. Offensive foul. Offensive foul on Black Hill State. That is on J.J. White. His second. 15 team fouls on the Jackets. Turnover 17, and now the Jackets want a timeout. Craig Smith wanted a timeout immediately. The Comets wanted a timeout after they got that basket from Monty Rogers. Rogers got mugged down low, no foul, got the bucket anyway, and the Comets wanted a timeout. They didn't get it. Jackets just missed one down low, but then the offensive foul was called. The Jackets used their final timeout. We're going to keep it right here. A full timeout. 1.2 seconds to go. Mayville State is going to have the ball up by a point, 69-68. Monty Rogers getting the basket down low in a crowd. Again, Mayville State wanted a timeout immediately. The Jackets brought it up quick, and there was no timeout. And as J.J. White dumped it down low, Tyler Jackson went for the lay-in, missed it, but it didn't matter as J.J. White was called with the offensive foul, knocking down, I'm not even sure who it was, but he came crashing in. So now the Jackets need a steal and a quick shot. Now Mayville State counters with their final timeout. This is a 30-second timeout. It's a 30-second timeout. That's their last one. So the Yellow Jackets took a full timeout. Now Mayville State counters with a 30-second timeout, and both teams are out of timeout. Whew. 1.2 seconds to go. Now the Comets are going to be inbounding from the end line, leading 69-68. Black Hill State would need to get a steal and a shot off in 1.2. I suppose the other alternative is if you could commit a foul. But it all depends on how much time comes off the clock. You could, in essence, commit a foul before the ball got inbounded. So you don't see that happen very often. Right now, advantage Mayville State. They lead by a point, 1.2 seconds to go. Karachka will look to inbound it. Everyone covered man-to-man, full-court defense. Long throw, and it hit the beam. It hit the support at the ceiling. And that's a turnover on Mayville State. Unbelievable. I can't believe it. 1.2, and the Jackets have the ball right underneath their own bucket. Bemis to get it in. I can't believe it. And it's swatted away by Fago out of bounds, and nothing came off the clock. Nothing came off the clock. Now one of the officials says it should be a .9. So .3 is coming off the clock. It'll go from 1.2 to .9. I can't believe that. Who would have thought, as they went to throw it, Parachka went to throw it up high, and he hit the support beam. The Yellow Jackets will be inbounding, trailing by 1 with .9 to go. Tice will come in. Sanchez is out for Mayville State. Jackets to inbound with .9 to go. Now a conversation between a couple officials about something. Yellow Jackets will be inbounding from the baseline, right underneath their own bucket. McCullough's going to come in for Mayville State to replace Fago. Bemis looks to inbound. Lobs it in. Jackson tips it at the horn. Yes, that's it. Final score. Mayville State 69. Black Hill State 68. And the Comets, they had to claw their way through this one, but Mayville State has won the conference championship. But what an effort from both teams tonight. 69-68 Mayville State with the win over Black Hill State for the Dakota Athletic Conference Championship in men's basketball. The Comets will go to 26-6 and be on their way to Branson in the national tournament. We'll be back here, try to digest what we just saw here, and bring you the numbers on the post-game report in 2 minutes. Final score in the championship game of the Dakota Athletic Conference in men's basketball. Mayville State 69, Black Hill State 68. Comets are down 5 at the half. They overcame an 11-point deficit. And Mayville State wins the conference championship. I want to mention that some honors have been handed out. Mayville State winning some awards. 4 players land on the All-Dakota Athletic Conference team. Monty Rogers ends up on the first team. And he is also named the Dakota Athletic Conference Newcomer of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year. It's Monty Rogers. Archie Weatherspoon ends up on the second team. And Gilby Sanchez and Ron Howard are named to the third team in the All-DAC Conference squad. And Coach Craig Smith, a well-deserved honor in his second season as head coach, has been named the Coach of the Year in the Dakota Athletic Conference. Now let's take a look at the numbers. For Mayville State, 24 field goals tonight. 7 of those were threes. Gilby Sanchez had 4 threes. Monty Rogers, Cody Lewis, and Scott Tice each had a three-pointer. The Comets at the free throw line, 14 of 19, and I have them down with 14 turnovers tonight. For Black Hill State, 22 field goals. 8 of those were threes. Casey Doolin had 3 of them. J.J. White had 4 threes, and Forrest Dorr had a 3. Yellow Jackets, 16 of 21 at the free throw line. They turned over the ball 17 times. The Yellow Jackets were down most of the first half, but they ended up with a 5-point lead at halftime, 35-30. In the second half, Black Hill State would extend their lead to 11 points on a couple occasions. Mayville State got on a 13-2 run to tie it at 48. And then Black Hill State pulled away for much of the remainder of the second half before Mayville State came back on a huge run at the end. And the Comets outscored the Yellow Jackets 39-33 in the second half. Mayville State wins at 69-68. Mayville State with the win now, 26-5 on the season. The Comets are off to Branson for the national tournament, the NAIA Division II Men's National Tournament, which begins on Wednesday, March 8th. And with the loss, Black Hill State ends their season 17-14 overall. But they had a heck of a season, and they showed their true grit tonight as they battled the Comets. Individual scoring tonight. Mayville State was led by Gilby Sanchez and Monty Rogers, who tied for a game-high total of 18 points. 10 off the bench for Matt Stingham. 6 points for Andy Parachka. I missed Archie Weatherspoon. He had 7. 6 for Andy Parachka. 5 for Cody Lewis. 3 points for Scott Tice. And 2 points for Markeith McCullough. For Black Hill State, they were led in scoring by J.J. White, who tied with a team-high honor, or a game-high honor of 18 points. Hallard Jackson had 16, 13 for Scott Ferguson, 9 points for Casey Doolin. Ammon Bemis had 7, 3 for Forrest Dorr, and 2 for Shane Hoskins. Rebounding numbers. Mayville State had a strong second half toward the end, and they did out-rebound Black Hills State 39-35. The Comets were led individually in rebounding by Monty Rogers with 7. Take that back, Matt Stingham had 9 rebounds, then Monty Rogers with 7. 6 of the 9 rebounds for Stingham were on the offensive side. For Black Hills State, they were led in rebounding by Ammon Bemis with 8. Right behind him were Scott Ferguson and Haller Jackson, each with 7. For the ball game for Mayville State on field goals, they shot 40%, 24 out of 60. On threes, the Comets were 7 out of 21, 33%. For Black Hills State, field goal percentage tonight, 42%, 22 out of 52. And on threes, the Yellow Jackets shot exceptionally well, 57% beyond the arc, 8 of 14. Oh, let's see what other numbers we've got here. A lot of steals in this ball game. For Mayville State, they had 8 steals tonight. John Fago had 3 of those. Monty Rogers had 2 steals. Weatherspoon, Sanchez, and Brodsky each had a steal tonight. For Black Hills State, 17 steals. Ferguson, Doolin, and Goldberg each had 2 steals, 1 for Jackson. Black Hills State had 3 blocked shots. Ferguson, Jackson, and Goldberg each had a block. For Mayville State, they had 2 blocked shots. Lewis and Stingham each with a block. 69-68, Mayville State with the win over Black Hills State as the Comets had to climb their way back in the second half. And it got very strange down toward the end. Comets had the ball with 1.2 seconds to go and a 1-point lead. And they ended up turning over the basketball as Andy Parachka went to inbound. He was trying to throw it down the floor and keep it on the opposite end of the floor, so if the ball was stolen, then Black Hills State wouldn't be able to get a shot off that would get down the floor. Well, unfortunately for the Comets, the plan had backfired and it hit a support beam up in the ceiling. But in the end, Black Hills State had 0.9 to get the ball in, get a shot off, and the shot just rimmed off as the horse. So Mayville State wins at 69-68 over Black Hills State. I've been asked by Coach Craig Smith to stay on until he can get over here. He wants to talk with us after the game here. For our folks down in South Dakota, been glad to bring this game to you. And although it didn't turn out your way, the Yellow Jackets played a tremendous ball game tonight. And all it comes down to is 1 point as Mayville State wins tonight 69-68. So we'll wrap it up with our folks down in South Dakota. Again, the Comets, your Dakota Athletic Conference champions, defeating Black Hills State tonight 69-68. For our listeners on KMAV, we'll be back with more on our VW Motors of Cooperstown postgame report in 2 minutes. Welcome back here to the Mayville State University Louis Lee Fieldhouse. Again, Mayville State wins it tonight, and they are the Dakota Athletic Conference champions for the 2005-2006 season. Comets took the regular season conference championship and win it here in the postseason as well. 69-68, Mayville State with the win over Black Hills State. But it was not easy as the Comets were down 11 on a couple occasions in the second half. Coach Craig Smith just took down the net as it was cut up. Players are going up there and cutting a piece of it, and Coach Smith came down with the net and swung it around on his finger a few times. We're expecting Coach Craig Smith to stop by here before we wrap it up. Earlier today, in case you missed it, in the District 3 boys basketball tournament, we had 3 games to wrap up that tournament before this one even tonight here at the Louis Lee. In a region qualifier with Hillsborough over Dakota Prairie 36-24. Also in a region qualifier, Thompson beat Finley Sharon 68-51. And for the District 3 championship, Mayport CG over Haddon Northwood 43-41. Up north in District 4 tonight, in the third place game, Valley Edinburgh over Cavalier in double overtime, 69-67. And for the District 4 championship, North Border defeats Midway Minto 44-29. And again here for the championship in the Dakota Athletic Conference, Mayville State 69, Black Hill State 68. Comets were down 35-30 at the half. In the second half, at one point, Black Hill State was up 46-35. Mayville State would go on a 13-2 run to tie it at 48. And as soon as that happened, Black Hill State scored 5 points in a blink of an eye. And the Yellow Jackets quickly got up again. Comets would not take another lead till right toward the end. And they would go up 69-68. Monty Rogers would get a basket with somewhere around 6 seconds to go. And then Mayville State wanted a timeout, but the officials didn't see it. Ball got brought up. Yellow Jackets went to the hoop with it, and the Comets caught a break as J.J. White was called with an offensive foul. So Mayville State had the ball with 1.2 seconds to go. They elected to throw it down the floor to keep the ball away from the Yellow Jackets basket. Unfortunately, the pass from Andy Parachka hit the support beam up in the ceiling, and it was a turnover. Went back to Black Hill State. They went to inbound. It got swatted away by John Fego. That took it down to .9. And then the Yellow Jackets had one last shot. They inbounded, and they couldn't get the shot to fall in. So Mayville State, your Dakota Athletic Conference champs, 69-68 over Black Hill State. We'll be back with more here from the Louis Lee Fieldhouse in 2 minutes. Mayville State wins 69-68 over Black Hill State for the Dakota Athletic Conference championship. Again, some other announcements relating to Mayville State men's basketball. We find out tonight that Monty Rogers, a junior from Mayville State, ends up on the first team of the Dakota Athletic Conference first team honors. Rogers also the newcomer of the year and defensive player of the year for Mayville State. Named to the second team all-conference, Archie Weatherspoon, and named to the third team all-conference, Gilby Sanchez and Ron Howard for Mayville State. And Coach Craig Smith, the Dakota Athletic Conference Coach of the Year. Coach Smith in his second year at Mayville State as head coach. Coach Smith being congratulated down on the floor by several people. Let's see if we can bring him over here. He wanted to talk after the game and talk about his players and the effort that they put in throughout the season. Very impressive 26-5 record on the season for the Comets. And Mayville State did not lose a single game at home all year, and that will stand as the Comets do not have any more home games the rest of the way. They will be down at the national tournament in Branson, Missouri, starting a week from tomorrow. Starts on the 8th. And I think I heard that the Comets will actually be taking off Sunday or Monday of next week, so they'll be taking off early. And they'll be gone for an extended stay down in Branson, Missouri. Last year, Mayville State got to the national tournament. They lost a tough one to Oregon Tech, who had been the defending national champ from the year before. We'll be back here, see if we can get Coach Smith here and maybe wrap things up in 2 minutes. Welcome back here on our post-game report. Craig Smith, coach of the Mayville State Comets, with us here. What a ball game. You guys were down most of the way, but you pulled it off, and it got kind of strange there at the end where you got the turnover. They got to bring it in, but they didn't make it, and you're the champs.
Yeah, it was one of the most amazing games I think we've ever been a part of, and it just, we were up early, and then we really struggled offensively. They did a great job of double-teaming our post guys every time, and we turned it over way too much, and we were posting up too deep in terms of too low to the baseline, and made that adjustment in the second half, and I thought we were a lot better that way. But they came out to start the second. We got a good lead early, and they battled back, and I think we were down 7 or whatever in the first half for a stretch. I thought it was a miracle we were only down 5 at halftime because they absolutely outplayed us, out-hustled us, outworked us, just killed us on the boards. They had 9 offensive rebounds in the first half. We had 12 total. And second half, they came right out of the gates, and I think we were down 12 with exactly 17 minutes to play. And we called timeout, and I could tell we were a little rattled because, quite frankly, we just haven't been in that situation very much this year, and I felt we were kind of playing panicky. And just called timeout and just said, hey, there's a lot of time left. There's a lot of game left, and you got to chip away at one possession at a time, and then we shored some things up, and I thought we did a better job defensively. Really got out in our running game, and our running game we're always very good at. And, we're pushing it, and our defense certainly created some opportunities for our offense, and Gilby got hot there for a stretch, and then we started attacking inside, and, then it went back and forth, and there was some, I'll tell you, I don't know if I've ever seen so many crazy scrambles in the last 2-3 minutes of a game. It was just crazy. And, that one of the last possessions we missed, and we're just scrambling, loose ball. And about 3 minutes before that, it was the same thing, but we didn't get it. And fortunately for us, we ran a play, got a great look. Matt just missed pretty much a bunny. And we flew on the offensive boards. They tipped it out of bounds. We called timeout. And we run an end-out play that, we put in probably a month ago or so and really worked on it a lot lately for this kind of a situation. It's the first time we ran it all year. And sure enough, we get it, Monty gets an easy look. And, he got an easy catch, but then there were about 3 guys on him, and he made a heck of a shot. And then they come down and missed a shot. Oh, no, we took a charge, which I thought was a great call.
Right, you wanted a timeout, though.
Yeah, I wanted a timeout to set up our defense because, that's what we would do if there was 6 seconds left. We don't want our opponent to call timeout. We want to get it and go. And I thought John did a great job of locating the ball, and everyone else found their man from there. And that's tough. It's very, very difficult to do that. And Matt Stenjum had a huge play. I thought that we got screwed on a couple of those calls earlier where we had charges and they didn't call them. And, I wouldn't say screwed, but they were certainly borderline.
Yeah.
And Matt, just did it again. And he's their best guy on our team in terms of help side defense. And he takes the charge, which I thought we deserved. And then they call timeout. We set up a play. Then we call timeout to finish the play. And last thing we said in the timeout was, first thing we said, make sure you throw it in bounds. Because there was one second left, and they had no timeouts left. So if you throw it three-quarter court, they got to catch it if they get the steal and throw up a prayer. Yep. And then we just said, don't throw it too far and don't throw it too high. And the guy who said that was Andy Parachka. And sure enough, he's the guy we had to take out because he's very sure with the ball.
Yeah.
Well, the look of despair on his face when it happened. And to their credit, they had a shot at it. They just kind of lobbed it up to their most athletic player. And Matt Stenjum was right there contesting it, and, game over. And so, our guys have been waiting for this for a long time. Last year, at Minot, Jordan Cooper makes a shot that's about a once-in-a-lifetime shot, and then we struggle in overtime. And this has been in the back of our minds for 365 days, and our guys really wanted this one bad. And I'll tell you, it was a tough game. Ron Howard's been sicker than a dog. He played for about 2 minutes. Chris Reinhardt, I think hurt his knee. He's got to get an MRI on Thursday. And so in a lot of ways, we were playing a lot of different lineups that we haven't played for a while. And so all in all, I just thought our guys played with a lot of poise and showed a lot of character down the stretch.
You had Markeith McCullough there for an extended time, and he did a nice job out there.
He really brought some energy to us, and it's tough. I'll credit our guys. We have a deep team, and there's a lot of guys who, in a lot of ways, have arguments to why, they should be playing. And they just stayed the course. You look at Cody Lewis, who started, the first, 10 games of the year. Scott Tice started the first 14, and now they're coming off the bench, and sometimes they're playing 4 minutes, and other times they're playing 15, and it's just hard. But I give those guys a lot of credit to be ready to play. Gilby's been really struggling at the end of the year, and I'll tell you, the last 3 games, he's been absolutely dynamite. And tonight, he certainly really sparked us. And Monty Rogers, is named the MVP, or most valuable defensive player. And you see it tonight. He's guarding number 21, J.J. White, their 2-guard. He's guarding their point guard, 25. He was their best post defender on the MVP of the league, Hallard Jackson. And he's just a dynamic player that you don't find very often, And so it was a great team effort. Andy Prochka, it looks like you're going to have to drag the guy off the floor. He played so many minutes, and, he's $160. He only weighs about 160 pounds if he's all wet anyway. And so it's just been a culmination of a great season. Undefeated at home. We beat UND for the first time since 1945. Win the regular season conference championship by 2 games. Win tonight's game. And, hopefully the thing just keeps on going. We want to make history. The most wins in school history. And we just want to keep making history as this thing goes on. And so it's just been a really rewarding year and an exciting year. And something that we said when we got here, we want to be the Duke or the North Carolina of the NEI. Finished the year as number 7 in the country, which is the highest ranking ever at Mayville State. And so it's been a lot of tremendous things that have happened, and we just got to keep the ball going. And, we got the right pieces in our program to keep it going, and we're really looking forward to next week.
You talked to me about this before the game, about the fans listening on the Internet, and some of them know the players very well. And,
yeah.
I know that you appreciate them following the team along as well.
Well, I tell you, we got a lot of guys from a lot of different places, all over the states, and I know they tune it in. Ron Howard's parents and Monty Rogers' mother and Cody Lewis and Chad Hobbs' parents, and it's just, and I could keep on going down the list, and it's just a special group. And when you get guys from all over the place, and that can blend together as well as these guys do, and some are transfers, some are high school kids, and I just think our unity of purpose is our biggest strength. It is tough. It's tough. You got to sacrifice for the team, and it's just like any relationship. You got to look each other in the eye and suck it up, and you always, you can't put money never made a man rich, right? And that's one thing my parents thought. Money's never made a man rich. In this kind of experience, in this kind of a game, our guys will always look back forever. You see Justin Shervin in the crowd, and Kurt Hong, and Aaron Bonham. He doesn't play hardly at all this year, and those guys are always in there in our spirit. Alex Anthony leaves me a message at 5 o'clock tonight from Athens, Greece, which is 1 in the morning their time. God knows what he's doing over there. But it's tradition, and tradition is so important, and you got to build on that. And we had a ton of ex-players here over the weekend from Wisconsin, like Jay Jesperson and Justin Turnquist, and this just goes out to everybody. And the communities of Mayville and Portland are absolutely incredible, and they just love their sports, and they get behind you so big time. And it's the greatest feeling when it's so important to the people here, and it means so much to the people, and they just get behind you. And look at our crowds. When we first took over, they would only have 1 set of bleachers out, but you got to give them something to be proud of. You got to play hard. You got to leave everything on the court. And I'd like to think that we do that. We had some stretches this year. I was pretty frustrated with that because we didn't finish games right. But the name of the game is what's your best game, and it's your next one, and hopefully our best game is going to be our next one coming up. So I'm just so proud of our guys and our team that we stuck together and fought through some things. We're 26-5, and it's just been a great run, but we want to keep it going.
And by winning the game, not only do you finish your home season undefeated, but also you look at it that by getting the win, you're going to the you knew you were going to national tournament either way, but now it's on a high note because you got that win.
Absolutely. As a coach, you don't worry about being ready to play these games. You worry. I was a little bit worried over the Dakota State game because Dakota State's very talented, and you just worry that sometimes your guys are going to overlook it, not quite have the energy, and we just came off a big weekend sweep the week before to win the regular season championship, and so. But, you play with Valley City, who is a good team, and, our spirit and atmosphere in the Louis Lee. I think old Louis Lee had a smile from ear to ear. I told you in the pregame, and it's just fun to get the echoes going again and get everyone excited and get the juices going, and hopefully we've done Mayville Portland proud in our university, and just so thankful for the opportunity to come here, and I just credit our guys and our assistant coaches. A lot of times the head coach gets all the credit, and all the blame. And I'll take the blame, trust me. But our assistant coaches, Justin Forbes and Justin Johnson, are just absolutely unbelievable people and guys I'd certainly go to war for every day of the week. And you are who you surround yourself with, and those guys spend endless hours and don't get a lot of the recognition and the credit that goes in it. And those guys just do an amazing job behind the scenes. And it's hard to have success unless you're surrounded with great people.
Yeah, and you talked about that success. Congratulations on Coach of the Year. You were named Coach of the Year for the conference, but I suppose you would just as well say it's to the players and the assistants as well.
Well, it is. I mean, if you don't have success on the floor, you're never going to it's never about that. I mean, individual awards they're all cool, and I appreciate it because it was the peers that anytime your peers vote you in something like that, it's rewarding. But you trade all that stuff in a second, for winning conference championships and doing it the right way. I really feel like we do it the right way. Our guys don't talk back to officials. We play hard. We do it with class. Our benches. I'll put our bench up. When I say bench, our guys that even that don't play a whole lot, they're always standing, they're coaching their guys up, and that's what it's about. It's about team, and regardless if you play 1 minute, no minutes, 35 minutes, and it's a neat reward. But I'll tell you, it's about the players. It's a players' game, and as a coach, you try to when you're young, you get into coaching because you love the competition, and you still love the competition. Don't get me wrong, but you learn that it's so much more than that, and it's about Alex Anthus calling and leaving a good luck message. It's about Seth Thomas, who blew his knee out our first semester and ended up hanging it up. And it's about those guys that you always stay in touch with and the relationships that you build and the experiences that you gain. And I just always tell guys, I really believe our guys will stay in touch forever, and on the phone, in person, have reunions. And that's what's so rewarding is when you see them grow as a man. And we don't babysit our guys. We try to treat them like men. And now, if they deserve to get their rear ends jumped, we'll jump them. But it's never going to be personal. You rip their butts, and when you're done, it's done. And they can't take it personal, and you can't. And it's just it's a heck of a crew, and it's something that we just want to keep going and build this tradition and take it from there.
So now the focus goes into going down to Branson for the national tournament, and one of the major concerns is always the cost. So tomorrow morning, I would imagine that you'd like as many donations as possible.
Yeah, well, first of all, we really appreciate you guys, Craig and Dan, putting everything on and following us the whole year because, you guys are the pulse of what goes on here to everybody around the country. And you can't believe the number of emails that we get, on like beating UND, and they listen to it on the radio through the website and all. And it's just, we really appreciate what you guys have done. And then certainly in this, money's always tight at Mayville. But we always figure it out, and it just takes everybody. That's why I always say this place is so unique because it takes everybody to make it go. It's not just the players. It's not just the coaches. It's not just our athletic director and our president. It's the community, and everybody's got to chip in if we're going to have a chance to have success. And so tomorrow at 9 o'clock, I think it starts, 9 to noon, we're going to have our hopefully annual radiothon, and so we appreciate any calls and any donations that you guys out there might have, and it's certainly a big, it's what we need to get there and take care of business. And last year we went there, and it was a kind of a short trip, and this year we want to make it a 8 or 9 day stay, hopefully. In the bracket, I think the brackets come out around 5 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. And we'll see what happens. I mean, we ended up the season 7 in the country, and I know a couple teams ahead of us lost in their first round of their tournament. So who knows? We're open for a 4 or 5 seed, but it doesn't matter. Quite frankly, we just got to go out there and compete. And whoever we draw, we draw. And the bottom line is every team that makes it's a good team, a very good team. And so, we'll see what happens. But certainly we'd appreciate as many calls as we can. We're going to get all of our guys involved, and we'd love people to come up to the gymnasium and mess around with the guys and shoot free throws or what have you, and and take it from there. But we really appreciate the help, and it's just been a tremendous season. We like to keep it going.
Well, it's been a great season, and we wish you the best luck. It's still a little over a week away, but it's definitely going to be in the back of your mind.
Well, we need some time off. I mean, we need to rest our legs a little bit. We're pretty weary, and tonight we just played a lot of different lineups, and we got to shore up some things. Chris will have an MRI on Thursday, and he's been a big part of what we've done. Ron's got to get healthy, and hopefully, I know my wife is sicker than a dog, and sick of me more so than anything probably, but we just we got to get healthy again and get our legs back under us, and then just keep on improving in practice. And it's nice that we won't play for a minimum of 8 days and maybe 9 days.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thanks, Craig. Really appreciate it.
You bet. Craig Smith, coach of the Comets, on our post-game show. And again, the final in the Dakota Athletic Conference Championship, Mayville State 69, Black Hill State 68. Earlier today, in the District 3 boys basketball tournament, region qualifiers, it was Hillsborough over Dakota Prairie, 36-24. Thompson over Finley Sharon, 68-51. District 3 championship, Mayport CG over Hatton Northwood, 43-41. And up in District 4 tonight, in the third place game in double overtime, it was Valley Edinburgh over Cavaliers, 69-67 for the District 4 championship tonight. North Border beat Midway Minto 44-29. And again, Mayville State off to Branson, Missouri, the NAIA Division II men's basketball tournament beginning a week from tomorrow, beginning on March 8th. And we will bring you coverage of that on KMAV. Again, we invite you to join us tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. here from the Louis Lee Fieldhouse, as we'll have the Comets Radiothon starting at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning as Mayville State men's basketball team tries to raise funds to be able to pay for the trip down to Branson in the national tournament. Been an exciting season and an exciting championship game tonight. Again, the final, Mayville State 69, Black Hill State 68. We want to thank our sponsors. Couldn't do it without them, and we ask you to patronize them, at the very least, stop in and thank them.